Righto, Thoroughbreds, welcome back to another episode of Penalty Broncos. This is the NRL show. We are, like I said, Penalty Broncos. We're the number one podcast that we listen to when it comes to all things Broncos. We're here to give you the best professional amateur advice, as best as we can anyway. We've got the forward pack online. I'm coming to you from the bandwagon bar. Langers, mate, how you been? Been a hot minute.
Yeah, boys. Good to see your faces again. Your pretty little faces there on the screen. It's good to see. Yeah, apologies for not being available last week. I was just inundated with family members last weekend. It was fucking pandemonium here at my joint, so it just wouldn't have made for good content on my ends. Yeah, apologies for that. But no, week has been good. I was in Nebo this week, so just living the dream in the small communities. That is basically my life now. And yeah, weekend was good. Basically just dealing with a 6 to 7 month pregnant missus and a toddler, mate. So just trying to incorporate the 5 Ds of dodgeball just to try to stay alive, mate. My life is basically at their beck and call for the next 20 years probably.
18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were going to say months then for a second, weren't you?
But no, apart from that, mate, no, good weekend, good to wrap around some good quality football, which we will talk about very directly, I assure everybody. But no, apart from that, Ringer, what about you, mate? How was your week?
Yeah, mate. Flat out been in the machinery this week, actually. Something a bit different. Loaders and graders and carrying on. It's been good, something a bit different from the day-to-day. But, farm loaders, no brakes, no fucking hydraulics hardly work. But anyway, you get the job done. But actually on the road, boys, we're on the road tonight in Blackall, where they say fuck all happens in Blackall. And wasn't true tonight. Went to the pub at 6:30 to get a feed so I can get home early for the pod. It was fucking packed. So fuck all doesn't just happen in Blackall, apparently. So, on the way down to St. George this week for a council conference. So, just a slight 20-hour trip across the state to fucking get to a conference that's part of your area allegedly. So, yeah. Anyway, but got around some good footy, mate. Got to actually watch a fair bit of the ladies' game and the Broncos game on Saturday. So, pretty good fucking Saturday. We got to all say, Thoroughbreds. Britto, how'd you go, mate? Did you get around any? I know you were. Mate. I know you were flat out, and I know you were in and out of the women's game while trying to do some fatherly duties. So how'd you go,
mate? She was a full on week actually. I've got a story for you lads, and it drives my disgust for the Knights even further into the abyss. So. For all those that don't know, I went to Brisbane for work this week, flew down via Virgin, flying back via Virgin. Pretty full-on week. Had to get some stuff ready for next week and whatnot. Get a message from Virgin midway through. Hey, we've changed your plane. Now it's going to be run by Alliance, however you want to say it. But it's going to be a smaller plane, but don't stress. Everything's the same. It's all good. I'm like, all right, that should have been the first fucking warning sign immediately out the gate. Get to the airport, all good, got there well and truly early, and I look over and there is every single Knights player. Adam O'Brien, the whole lot. I'm like, great, this is good. This is just what I need. Message Lincoln from the Knighted. Oh, you buddy, right. Shit talking his team a little bit. And then karma bit me almost immediately. I'm sitting in the plane seat, ready to take off. I've got Dom Young. I think I've got KPP sitting in front of me there and whatnot. And I get a little message saying that my bag had been entered onto the plane. I'm like, all right, sweet, we're good for takeoff. 5 minutes later, I get another message saying, no, your bag's not actually on the plane. I'm like, hold up, hang on. What's going on there? Anyway, we wait 20 minutes on the tarmac. Then we take off, and I didn't get a notification saying that my bag had re-entered the plane. Cue me landing in Townsville and waiting with 6 other lads for our bags at the carousel, only to find out that the Knights had overloaded the plane, so they just picked some random lads' bags to chuck off, and mine would turn up at midnight. Now, I already hate airlines, thoroughbreds. If I will take a train before I take an airplane. That's my thinking at the moment. And I asked the lady, I was like, oh, so what's the go with the bag then? Oh, it'll be here at midnight. You can come pick it up in the morning. I was like, all right, eh? I was like, you know what would have been better if you had to just chucked a couple of the night stuff off and left my bag on, because I'm pretty sure they're getting paid for the weekend. So they could have shown up at 6 o'clock in the morning to grab whatever items they didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was safe to say I was fuming, thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
All right, but then I had it was good actually. The youngest girl had a birthday party she had to go to for a school friend, and that was at the Commonwealth pub. If all those that know it in Townsville here, it's a family friendly, no pokies, got a good area at the back, swimming pool, playground area for the kids and everything. So got around that, and I was watching the girls' game and trying to do the score updates, and of course the girls decided to put on a hiding. Not that I'm complaining, but because I'm trying to drink and socialise and watch kids and do social stuff and
put up socials.
Then we raced home for the men, and that was even better. That was a great game as well. So happy days for that. But no, that was my little drama. And then the Knights got pumped, so happy fucking
Good left their bags in Newcastle.
Yeah, should have left the training gear at home, lads. You didn't need it. Or it didn't look like you used it anyway. The Knighted as well, I've got to give a shout out to Lincoln. He's dogged me twice now. So he stopped doing the Origin autopsies for any of those that tuned in for the first one where he ambushed me after they won game one. So he stopped doing that once he lost. But then I couldn't find where his hotline was. I was going to leave him a nice little voicemail for tonight. The live that he's doing tonight. So I might distract myself while he's talking at some stage and see if I can throw a comment in there.
Definitely.
Just let them, they can take their own private jets or something like that. Leave us
glad they got rid
alone.
of Tinkler.
Yeah, it's a flow-on effect at this point. Righto, quick shout out, guys. After that, give us a like if you found us and listening and whatnot on whatever you're on. That'd really appreciate and help us out. Also, any businesses as well that want to give a shout out on the potty, reach out. Email will be in the description. And we'll move on to the preview of the game. Bit of a doozy, this one. Big turnout. Officially sold out, if you believe the socials from Suncorp themselves, Suncorp Stadium themselves. But we took on the Dolphins for round 24 of the Telstra NRL premiership at our house in Suncorp Stadium there for another instalment of the Battle of Brisbane. The ramifications for this game in terms of a finals berth was pretty big, actually. I don't know if it was... They obviously touched on it in the broadcast, but I don't think people actually understood how serious this one was. Like, if we lost this, we're sitting in ninth at this right now, and the Dolphins would have been sitting in seventh because the Sharkies flogged the Titans. So, but yeah, so that was pretty huge. For it, 44,350 of you mad people made it out. No doubt that would have been a mix of Dolphins and Thoroughbreds, but great attendance for that, and they were treated to a show because in the first half, 14 all going into the sheds. Great little battle, hit for hit. It was almost like for like with the tries, and we'll go through that in a bit, just the way that they came about. Second half, though, we came out, put on a dominant performance, ignoring the first 10 minutes, of course.
I was going to say.
To end up 24-14 in the second half, resulting in a full-time score of 38-28. Possession, very even, 51 to 49%. Completion rate, 82%. I know one ringer will be extremely happy to see a big 8 in the front of that. 8 out of 34 sets we completed. 77% for the Dolphins, 28 out of 36. Average set meters, 48.66 meters to 40.72. Tackle efficiency, big one here, 90.85%. So that coupled with the completion rate really was good. And I've got a question, no doubt we'll talk about it in a bit. Dolphins, 80.31% in their tackling there. We made 298, they made 310. Missed 28, missed 60 by the Dolphins. Huge. And the massive one here, I think, which leans a lot into just what Madge would have been going into during the week, ineffective tackles 2 up against 16. So the boys were sticking.
Yeah.
So it was good to see that. Errors 10-9. Penalty count 9-2.
Oof.
Is that right? Jesus Christ. Can we just be a bit more disciplined? I'm sick of reading out lost fucking penalty count.
By a long way too.
Yeah. Ruck infringements 2-3 and on report 2-1. So we'll get to those. Play the ball speed 3.36 seconds versus 3.15. Jordan Ricky still up there. Once he finds his front, that boy can get up quick. Offloads 10-2. Payne Haas doing an absolute spectacle in amongst that. Dummy half passes 29-14. Sorry, dummy passes 29-14. And the interchange, interesting, used all their interchanges. Despite the fact that we had Jack Goz go off unexpected and not come back on, we only used 7 out of 8 and the Dolphins only used 6 out of 8. So very interesting there. But without further ado, Langers, take it away for our review, mate.
Copy that, sir. Rightio, Thoroughbred. Let's absolutely get into it. Oh, my computer's just shit itself. No, it hasn't. Let's continue. Rightio. So, as we all know, Broncos v Dolphins. And, Broncos kick off to start us off. Now, normally when I do this, Thoroughbred, you probably would have noticed, I said it in the last time I was on, that something always happens in the second minute, but doesn't happen this time. We wait until the third minute this time. So, bit of a rough trot there. So, third minute, Dolphins number 11, Cooley Kifu Finufawaki. Oh, I am too white to say
nailed
that, mate.
that.
Holy Jesus, I would have butchered that like a motherfucker. So apologies for that, Mr. Number 11. Anyway, that bloke, he drops the ball coming out of their own end. And, so just great opportunity for the Broncos. That set ends with a kick from Benny Hunt that is dropped by Jordan Ricky, which is ruled as a knock on. And in that, Jack Goss got up very slowly on the fourth tackle there, holding his arm, shoulder situation. We'll get into that a little bit later, but that's third minute. Into the 6th minute, knock on by Dolphins number 6, Cody Nikarima. Great pressure by Ben Hunt to force the error. Another chance for the Broncos. Set ends with a grubber from Walsh, which is knocked dead for a Dolphins dropout. What did they do with that dropout, boys?
Took full advantage of it.
Yeah.
They did a short one. Did it work? No, it didn't. So just get it out of your game, boys. I don't care what fucking team you play for. Failed short dropout, so sucks to be them. Into the 8th minute, set after the failed short dropout, sees Josiah Karapani drop a bullet pass from Reece Walsh. Now, Karapani would have been over if he held on to that one. Absolutely he would have. So I've got opportunity gone begging there. I don't know. I mean, the pass was hard and fast, but you're in the first grade, we should be able to take those.
Yeah.
I mean, you can chalk it up to whoever, fuck that up, whatever.
I think if Karapani had that again, he'd catch that 9 times out of 10, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
He would have been filthy with himself.
Yeah, it was a hard pass. Needed to have some sort of speed on it to obviously get past the defender. But just unfortunately couldn't hold on to it. So opportunity went begging on that one. Into the 9th minute, penalty to the Dolphins for Corey Pakes holding down Dolphins number 5, Tavita Nafahu. Benny Hunt cuts down Dolphins number 8, Mark Nichols, forcing him to drop the ball after that. Just got great defense from Hunt so far. He was everywhere, just chopping lads left, right, and center. We're not even 10 minutes in, and he's already come up with 2 great defensive sort of plays there. So good to see from Benny Hunt. Into the 10th minute. Now, in rare scenes, Payne Haas drops the ball, giving the Dolphins a pressure reliever. Mate, if you didn't see it with your own eyes, you wouldn't believe it.
Especially the way he did it.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, whether he was trying to do the offload and he just sort of fucked it up, don't really know. But rare scenes. You don't see that too often from the big fella. But that was his only sort of error. I'm pretty sure we'll get into the stats a bit later. But from that third minute, when Chicken Man got smoked in his shoulder. He came down hard on his shoulder. He doesn't go off until the 11th minute. So he plays for another 8 before they go, "Oh, rightio, no, he can't do this. Let's take him off." So, yeah, in the 11th minute, Jaden Hunt comes on and the Chicken Man, Jack Goss, goes off, and that boy does not return at all. He will not be back for a couple of weeks, I would imagine. Britto will probably talk about that at the end. So, yeah, hopefully the big fella's all right, but we shall move on. Now, into the 12th minute. Second tackle after a set restart for the Dolphins. Katoni Staggs takes Dolphins number 5, Tavita Nafahu, out the sideline, saving a certain try. Now, I've got a little note here. First chance for the Dolphins, and they nearly score. So I was worried at the 12th minute
Yeah.
because it was sort of all Broncos at that stage. And then they finally, Dolphins finally get a little bit of momentum behind them. And it was like a try-saving tackle by Katoni. So obviously props to Katoni. But yeah, I was a little bit worried in the 12th minute. Absolutely. But we all know the end result. So we'll keep trucking. From the 12th minute into the 13th minute, get a penalty to the Dolphins. See, Britto, this is where the penalties keep coming from, mate.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying at the moment. Jesus. Look at the Dolphins for Billy Walters being inside the 10. Helps the Dolphins get out of their own end. Then in the 15th minute, after 2 set restarts inside the Broncos 20 metres, the Dolphins spread it left, and Dolphins number 1, Hamiso Tabuai Fido, strolls over for the first points of the game. Now, a couple of notes here. Quite a lovely double pump from Isaiah Katoa. Look, give credit where credit is due. We've said it once, we'll say it again. That double pump, just, creating the space for Hammer to float through. Everybody has seen the Hammer in action. You don't need to give that boy much space at all, and he is gone. So, yes, lovely double pump from Katoa. Hammer is rocking the number 1 jersey, but he's playing in the centre because Trey Fuller comes into fullback. I think he was rocking the number 20 jersey. Kick converted, obviously. They got Jermaine Asako kicking. Pretty sure he could kick from the next field over and still get it. Converted 6-0. Lads, thoughts on that first try of the game? Britto, I'll start with you, mate.
First of all, I can watch Jermaine Asako kick conversions all day long. Like him and Renault, just beautiful strike action that they got. That try, it was all Katoa. Just getting Hammer on the outside there of Katoni. Katoni got fooled by the double pump. I feel like he made a flinch, and that kind of what led Isaiah to throw that pass. Just held it back, watched what he did, and then put it through. Just sustained pressure at this point. We all knew that they could do that if they got the chance, and showed it. But great try. Loved it.
Yep. Ring up, what about you, mate?
Yeah, mate. My only hope is that they keep picking Nathan Cleary for New South Wales and don't look at this kid because, I don't know about any of you, but he's the halfback in the game at the moment that makes me the most excited as to watch, as a non-supporter of the Dolphins. You watch the game to see what he's going to do because he's so fucking brilliant. And you watch...
As a Nathan Cleary hater, I fucking love him coming along. He'll take that Origin jersey, I reckon, easily.
Mate, it'd be stupid if they don't, the way he's playing. But you watch this play they had an angle from behind the try line, and they had it focused in on him. He held that ball, and he must have seen a flinch from Katoni, like Britto said. And he holds his balance that much to keep himself in the line that as he throws the pass, he couldn't catch himself, so he was falling over throwing the pass. That's how long he delayed to try and get someone to bite. It's absolute fucking phenomenal, the ball plan that he's doing. And when they scored it, you were upset, but then you look at it and you go, fuck. It's him and Hammer had a metre of space, so you're not going to catch him. So it's but terribly nervous as a thoroughbred, I can tell you that, fuck, if he finds us out like this most of the night, we're in real hot soup here, boys.
Yes, definitely. And it does suck that he's going to be a New South Welshman too.
Yeah, it does.
Surely we can just sort of do some creative accounting and get him over onto the Maroon side, like they have done in the past. But no, let's keep going. So from the 15th minute, 6-0 to the Dolphins. Into the 20th minute. So there was a few sort of stages of play where there was a few minutes of just good backwards and forwards from both teams. It was a really good game to watch. Like, obviously, it would have been a lot better if the Broncos got out to, like, a 6-12 try lead, and then, we could have had that sort of game, but wasn't to be. But end result is what we're all here for, so we shall keep going. So, yes, from the 15th minute into the 20th minute, after a beautiful run from Reece Walsh, he passes to Katoni Staggs, who brushes off the hammer, runs 10 metres and bulldozes the Dolphins fullback Trey Fuller to score the Broncos' first try. Beautiful link up from Reece and Katoni. Walsh obviously taking over kicking duties with Reynolds being out. Kick converted, 6-all. Lads, talk to me about that one. Love to see it personally. Ring up. What were your thoughts, mate?
Mate, it was a sign of things to come, wasn't it, for the Thoroughbreds this night? The Walsh Katoni edge was fucking on fire, and we actually got to see a fair bit of ball playing from Reece in this one. But you could tell Katoni was in a fucking mood when he just he didn't take Hammer running past him very well, obviously, because he started holding grudges against the poor old Hammer from there on, and he brushed past him like he wasn't there. And then he sort of half thought about looking inside for support and then just went, no, fuck this, I'm doing it myself, and just poor old Trey Fuller just had to wear the brunt of what was coming, unfortunately, for the Dolphins. But, I mean, in saying all that, we needed to do something like that to get confidence back in the in the fans. That's for true. I was getting a bit nervous there when it was so back and forth after that 15-minute try from the Dolphins, and I thought, okay, come on. And it was good that we just used we didn't do anything stupid. We just ran hard, ran at holes, and put good players with good ball and let them see what they could do. So glad to see Reece getting his hands on the ball. He's another one. If he was your club's goal kicker, primary goal kicker, you wouldn't be unhappy, would you? Because he's striking them at the moment.
Yeah.
So, brilliant.
Yeah, good to see. Britto, how did you see it, mate?
Isn't it good seeing a Katoni Staggs just doing the things that he's doing this season as well? It's just, there's a couple of us, obviously, who've been following him for a fair while and been big fans of him. He's had a couple of off years, even in our 23 grand final year. Like, he did do some stuff, but he's doing more now than what he was then, I reckon.
Yeah.
And that big fend would just be an absolute menace. I seen something online today that the Dolphins should just hurry up and apologise, because surely they can't fucking, whatever they did to him, they can't just keep doing this shit every time they fucking go up against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could tell that he had a bit of a bee in his bonnet after that first try. He was going to get his get even, that's for sure. So, and then Reece's silky hands helped a lot as well. And just another bit of a talking point on it. It was good to see that it wasn't just the one side that we hit. As damaging as Katoni was, Reece also shared the love on the other side as we go through, and that's great signs as we head in to try and secure a top 8, if not a top 4 berth. So,
hope so.
Interesting times ahead.
Absolutely, especially now that we got the Knights coming up. Oh, they played so shit. Anyway, that's in the future. That's in the future, Thoroughbreds. Let's focus on the now. Rightio, let's continue. From the 20th minute, 6-all. In the 22nd minute, we see the Broncos' second interchange. Kobe Hetherington comes on for Corey Jensen, who goes off. Then in the 23rd minute, Dolphins captain's challenge for a high shot on Isaiah Katoa by Reece Walsh. Now, that captain's challenge is successful, which, I mean, Katoa was falling when Reece hit him. Like, there's not really too much you can do. Yes, it is contact with the head. I understand the rule. It's a bit of a grey area. But yeah, the Dolphins opt for the 2 points. Kick converted, 8-6 to the Dolphins. But lads, what were your thoughts on the penalty? What does it leave like a sour taste in your mouth? What were your thoughts, Ringer?
Yeah, mate. What annoys you is that, and the commentators said it. They said the captain challenged this because if there's any contact with the head, they're going to have to give it a penalty, even though the on-field ref didn't give it. And that does leave a sour taste in your mouth. That, like, and it's not just because it was us, because it sounds like we're trying to fucking get away with it. But I mean, like, if the on-field ref who was right there seen it and went, well, that doesn't really warrant a penalty because of how he was falling, because it's not as if Reece was fucking throwing arms or anything either. Like, it was just he was falling into him, and that's where his head hit. Like, so the on-field ref went, well, that's not a penalty. It's just unfortunate forceful contact. And then when the commentator said, oh, well, this is a pretty smart captain's challenge because if there's any contact with the head, they're going to get the penalty. It's like, well, Jesus, we're going to see a hell of a lot of this now, aren't we? And and once again, though, the inconsistency. Jaden Campbell 2 weeks beforehand gets hit in the fucking forehead with a forceful arm that no one called, and they didn't challenge it stupidly, or they didn't have one, or some bloody thing. Like, it's just in the consistency, isn't it? So, yeah, like if it's not given on field, like anyway, I don't agree with it because I hate how fucking pathetic some of these head-eye calls are. Like, and they say, oh, you got to make it black and white, but it's not black and white, is it? Everyone knows when there's forceful contact to the head in slow-mo. Like, it's pretty fucking obvious to see. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Britto, what were your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, my biggest gripe is the inconsistency. Like if you make it like union, where it is black and white, if there is any contact above a certain point in the body, boom, done. Like, it's just there is no talking point, there is no challenging or whatever. It's done. In that same game that you're talking about, Ringer, there, the Titans game. What about poor old Sammy? Got smacked around the chops, gets knocked out cold. Nothing really goes on about it. And then we do that game, so Reece gets pinged for that. We go to the Tigers v Manly game that happened today. Saab goes up and tries to bat a ball away, makes forceful contact with the head. Nothing. Just nothing. And that was a replay as well. So I'm like, oh, hang on. I don't get it. I
don't get it.
If I would be happy if that's a penalty every day of the week. I'd be happy if it's not a penalty every day of the week, as long as it's the exact same thing every day of the week.
Yeah, and that's
my biggest gripe. Yeah. So
I think just because it is so inconsistent, it just means that it's not black and white. There is a grey area there. So I think they need to acknowledge that it isn't going to be black and white. And if it is going to be black and white, then they need to change the wording to be like forceful contact to the head, not just any contact to the head. Or like what we've said, in previous, make them all wear headgear and then make it a forceful contact to the head and then, play on, because I feel like it's going to lead down the path of players milking penalties and players ducking into tackles to just get anything on the mush at all. And then you're going to have your Cody Nicarimas that, your 5'0" players that are just, all they need to do is just to bob their head and someone is going to clip them around the jaw or something, and they're going to get 20 penalties a game. And that's the way that, our beautiful game is going to descend into. So,
and the thing is that if the standard's set that if you challenge it and there is any contact with the head, you get a penalty, then we're going to fall into a fucking that's all it's going to be.
It's going to be soccer. Everybody's just going to be fucking milking everything. It's going to be ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So they have to come in with especially if the on-field ref hasn't called it, and they lay down and they send it upstairs. It has to be deemed to be forceful contact to deem it a penalty.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if there's just contact with the head and they give it a penalty, we'll get 20. Like you said, we'll get 20 a fucking game.
Well, it was in the Manly game again today. I think it was Jazz. He went into a tackle, and then old mate just did the old, elbow on the face as he was getting up sort of thing. And he stayed down clutching it because he felt a force on his face. So he was like, oh, well, I'll stay down here and we'll get a penalty when they review it. And it was pretty embarrassing. Even the commentators were like, well, that was pretty bad. So.
But if it gives your team a penalty, then why wouldn't you, And then eventually, if that's the way that it's going to roll, then your coaches are going to be like, that's what you need to do. And if you don't milk it, you're going to get in strife from the coaches. So, I can see this being a slippery slope if they don't get involved and change it now. That's for sure. But we shall continue because we are yet to get into some juicy stuff.
Yeah.
So from the 23rd minute, she is 8-6 to the Dolphins. 26th minute, the Dolphins do their first interchange. Ray Stone comes on for Mark Nichols. Then in the 27th minute, penalty to the Broncos. First one of the night. For Dolphins, number 10, All Blacks Tawa tackling Kobe Hetherington and upending him into a dangerous position. How dare he do that to our boy for a
Yeah,
start?
leave him alone.
Like, the audacity on that
Especially
man.
with a name like All Blacks.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Right. Tell me, farm.
Yeah. Broncos opt for the 2, kick converted, 8 all. Then from the 27th minute to the 30th minute, we see 3 interchanges, 2 for the Dolphins and 1 for the Broncos. For the Broncos, our boy Benny Talty comes on for Payne Haas, who just does his sort of, regular break on the half an hour mark. Then in the 30th minute, penalty to the Dolphins for a high shot on number 5, Tavita Nafahu, by Paddy Carrigan. Now, I've got a little note here. Paddy been going high a few times already.
Yeah.
He was lucky to get away with a few leading up to this one, I thought, and I think it might have just been the straw that broke the camel's back on that one. So, yeah, Paddy, rare. Like, I mean, like he's always been, heavily involved in the tackles and all that sort of stuff, but normally he's been able to wrap them up pretty good. Yeah, 30th minute, and I think that was probably the third time he sort of went a little bit north in the tackles. Yeah, penalty to the Dolphins. And then into the 31st minute, next minute later, try to the Dolphins, number 3, Jake Avarillo, after beating Gemma Shibasaki for pace. Kick converted, 14-8. Lads, how did you see that one? Britto, I'll start with you, mate.
Yeah, look, this one was, we just got outclassed on that side, outdone. Jamat, I don't know. I was thinking like what we mentioned on the previous podcast about how he's might be finding fatigue a little bit too much at the back end of a full season, especially playing Origin and whatnot. But then he goes like, we'll read the stats out later, and like, nah, he's fine, sort of thing. Like, he's okay. So I think he just got purely outclassed here. It was just a great set play, and they found their mark. That was a great try.
Yep.
I will say though, I'll say it in the next try.
Copy. Ringer, how did you see it, mate?
Yeah, mate. Warning signs, wasn't it, that both of their centres were way quicker than ours. But it didn't, like, luckily for us, and I was very happy that it didn't happen again. So I think Shibba just found himself in no man's land in this play. He was like he either second-guessed himself or was halfway between trying to help his back row and half out, and just sort of was in no man's land because Avarillo found him out and just ran around him. It was pretty scary to watch, actually, thinking if this is going to be a trend all night, we're in some serious fucking trouble. But gladly they didn't make that mistake again. And like Britto said, at this stage I was thinking Shibba needs to have a week off, and then for the rest of the game absolutely turned it on and was dominant. So
one thing I'll point out though, earlier in the game, they did try to do the same play, and Matt handled him pretty well.
Yeah,
I think did they put him over the sideline, or
very
he got close anyway? Yeah, that's right. So I think maybe they just backed themselves and just got just 100% caught, I reckon.
Yep.
And Avarillo is a fucking gun, and he is fast as shit. So like they caught him out a little bit out of like they found that space and found Shibba sort of in no man's land, and just a quicker player took advantage of it. It was just, but it was glaringly obvious that we weren't going to match him for speed in the centres if it come down to it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Rightio, let's continue. So, yes, from the 31st minute, it is 14-8 to the Dolphins. Into the 37th minute. Now, lovely run by Gemma Shibasaki to break through the line and pass to Reece Walsh, who flies onto the ball and just, beats everybody for pace to score the Broncos' second try. Kick converted, 14 all. What were your thoughts on that one, chaps? Ringer, mate, you can kick us off.
Once again, Reece Ball playing on the edges where he does his most damage. He just creates, when he's on like this and we're getting like, and everyone this is the thing where Reece gets in a lot of hot soup from the Thoroughbreds, and they all give him shit, is that when he creates something or he throws forward passes because it's not quite on, it's because it's not quite on. But in games like this, when we're like, all our lead runners did their job perfectly. They look like they're going to get the ball. They're not just in the frame because we're running a backline movement. Like they are all genuine options. So it holds up that defense. And if it's a half a step for Reece, if he gets that half a step in front of whoever his mark is, he just holds it long enough to give his, like in this case, Shibba. They just give him enough room, and then Shibba did the rest, and then he supports on the inside. So I think, there's definitely going to be another. We've had the Diamonds game from Reece this week, so there's going to be a rocks section, probably section of a game. I'm hoping, not an actual full game. But if I guarantee you watch it, when those bad passes come, it's because the defense isn't worried about anyone else but Reece, because no one else is a threat. Whereas you watch all of these movements that we've done in this game, Hayden Hunt did a great job. He was meant to be coming off the bench. He comes on the game early, and every time we went that way, he was pointing at Katoa, I think. Yeah, Katoa was a half on his edge, and he was screaming at him, and he looked like a threat to get the ball every time we went that way. And it just gives him that half a step, and that's all Reece needs. And then he puts him through a gap. Shibba does the rest. I was fucking up and about for this try, Thoroughbreds, I could tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was. I scared the shit out of my daughter because I done a big clap as they linked up, scared the shit out of her. But she'll get used to it. So hopefully, many more to come and before the end of the season.
It's like bagging down a colt, mate. You got to get them used to loud noises.
Exactly right. Britto, how about you, mate? How did you see it?
Yeah, I found it very interesting. We were basically going hit for hit in terms of the points. So Hammer gets around his man, Katoni takes it to heart, gets around his man, scores. They get a penalty, they kick for it. We get a penalty, we kick for it, sweet. Averillo burns Gamat, and then Gamat all of a sudden takes that to heart and decides that he's going to fucking run through a brick wall before flicking it onto Reece. So I'm finding that very interesting at this point as I'm watching, and I'm like, if this is going to be a shootout, this could be an incredibly high scoring game.
Yeah.
And I mean, it did. I thought both teams are going to hit the 30s at one stage there, or you're going to have to score 40 points to win it, sort of thing. But yeah, no, it was good. It was, like I said, I had my doubts about Shibba. Then he turns around and just burns everyone, puts Reece through, and off he goes. I think Jaden could have scored too if Reece wasn't such a ball hog. He was there, but it was good to see Reece get over, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Would have helped out a few multis, I would have imagined as well. So,
starting to rack up some try assists too, that lad, as well.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But anyway, sorry, apologies.
No, all good. Right, yeah. So, yes, from the 37th minute, it is 14-all. Then into the 39th minute, we see a penalty to the Dolphins for a high shot on Cody Nikorima by Jordan Ricky. Dolphins with the last chop of the half. Half ends with a kick from Cody Nikorima, and Ben Talty is ultimately the man that ends up with it. There was a little bit of a carry on at the line there, but Benny is the one that ultimately ends up with it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is half-time, 14-all. Couple of half-time sort of notes here. Reece planned really well, which is, obviously refreshing, good to see. We needed it after losing, 3 players last week, so good to see. Paddock Carrigan a bit reckless with a few tackles. We've already said that. The chicken man, Jack Goss, done for the night with a shoulder injury, so hopefully he can sort of come back or not. I mean, we aren't the biggest fans of him, so it doesn't really matter. He can sit out for the rest of the season if need be. But no, lovely back and forth from the two teams. I thought it was a really good half. Obviously a bit frustrating being a Broncos supporter because you were sort of expecting to be up at this stage, and the Dolphins were just turning it on a little bit. But it was definitely building up for an exciting second half, which obviously did not disappoint. Lads, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it was good. I kind of enjoyed with the Dolphins and the way that they have been going. I mean, they've been dealing with injuries all season. I don't think they're anywhere near full strength at all. I don't think they have been for quite a few rounds. But they keep turning up and they keep fighting. I believe from everything that they say, their coach, Christian Wolf, is an absolute tough motherfucker. He doesn't take shit. And they're certainly playing for him, is what it looks like anyway. So going into the Sheds 14-arm wasn't a great surprise for me. What I was very pleased to see, and this might cause a few more questions and answers is with Reece and Ezra out, Benny Hunt had gone to another level and Reece was doing diamonds. I thought Reece was very collective in his selection of passes and everything from there. Benny doing Benny things with the tackling and then getting everyone around. And I was like, fuck me. Like, was that our problem all along? We had too many chefs. And now that we've got rid of a few through injury, we're going to start to see some people shine here. Like, it just, yeah, I was sitting at halftime just going, fuck, like, if we end up going through with this and winning, is that what the media is going to be talking about all week leading into the Knights game sort of thing? So, but it was good to see the completion rate of what it was. And I'll touch on it in the second half when we get our first try and whatnot. Yeah, I thought it was a great game from both teams at this point, and I thought fitness was going to play a big role into coming into the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. Ringer, how did you see the first half, mate?
Yeah, mate. Christian Wolf's coaching stocks are going up nearly every game this team plays. They've got next to no one. They had nearly no forwards this game. To be fair, like no props anyway.
Yeah.
Like they got Finafua, Archibald, and Lemuelo, which are fucking guns second rows, but prop-wise, they are very, very short. So I think his stocks as a coach are going through the fucking roof. Get him a full-strength team next year with Isaiah Katoa and the hammer.
Oh.
Teams are in some fucking hot soup if they come against the Dolphins. I'll give you the hot tip. But I was very happy, not with how we let tries in, but we did not look panicked, which was something that it touches on what Britto said, is that I knew who my ball player was. Like, it was Ben Hunt was calling all the shots. I knew what Billy Walters was going to do. He was going to run it. If he didn't see an option outside of him that was beneficial, he was going to tuck the ball and run it. He wasn't just going to throw the pass because he's got a 6 on his back. And then that allowed that Reece got the ball only when the halves looked up and seen that there was something on. Like, he didn't just get the ball because it was Reece out the back, and that was the play that they set up 3 weeks ago in training. So when he got the ball, he had space, the outside backs had space, and they capitalised on it, and it made everyone look a lot better. So I sort of got to agree with Britto. If we go on and it's hard to say with the Broncos because next week we could lose by 60 to the fucking Knights because that's how we go this season. But, if this starts looking dangerous, I think we really have to look at how we structure our attack and how we don't need everyone to be a weapon at the same time. We need our halves to do what a half does. And that is create enough opportunity for your flary fullback to shine and your outside backs to shine. Like, you don't have to overplay your hand, which we caught just through necessity. We haven't overplayed our hand because we're back to bare bones in our roster. So one thing I will say though, I think our whole go forward is a lot better with Corey Pakes at 9. He is not flashy, but fuck, the forwards seem to respond when he's in there. He gives them the pill exactly where they want it. Not one time did you see a forward running onto the ball where he had to reach for it, where he had to wait for it, where he was behind him. Every single pass was exactly where they wanted him, and I think that contributes. And if it goes next week, I'm going to watch it doubly as closely because there's a lot in that for us as a team, because if our forwards are rolling, that's how we get this momentum to get our Ferraris into the game. And it's been a bit clunky with Hunty coming in, not being there for so long. And I really thought there was a big difference in how well our forwards were hitting the line with Pakesy there, just giving seed. Like, he's not doing anything else but putting seed on chest. So it'll be interesting next week because I'm going to be watching it doubly as much again just to see if that's the actual thing or whether it's a figment of my imagination on this night. But yeah, I think that's I really do think that's a really big factor in what's going on for our team.
It was interesting to see in the interview leading up to the game, Madge mentioned that they'd spent a lot of time during the week shortening up their positioning, because he made comment like Reece has thrown a couple of forward passes over the couple of weeks, blah, blah, blah. So we spent a lot of time during the week making sure that our timing was good. And it really showed off
It did.
in this game sort of thing. And double down on what you said as well. Reece got the ball when we were in, like you said, reached up and looked and, oh, there we are. Like 60 metres out, he got the ball to put Jamat into that hole, supporting, boom, try.
Yeah.
Like that sort of eyes up sort of stuff. Yeah, it's good to see, really. And it just leads more, like I said, it leads more questions than answers. Like,
Yeah, it does.
What
Yeah.
do we alternate when Renault comes back? Do Hunt has a week off, then we throw Renault in, and other teams don't know what the fuck they're looking at.
Just send the 2 off back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doubles down to my point that I think Josh Rogers does the same job, that we played just as well, because you know who you're gonna get. Because that's essentially what Billy Walters did. Like, he didn't do it, well, except for the fucking try of the season, which, sort of contradicts that point a little bit. But, I mean, like, you didn't look at Billy Walters' game and say that was a flashy game. That was a Billy Walters fucking, out of the box sort of game, except for that one play. He just played his exact role, and he didn't let go of that ball outside him unless he was confident that there was time and space for his people outside him, which I thought I was the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I really thought Billy might lose his head, get excited in those sort of situations and come up with a shitty pass every now and then, but he just didn't. And kudos to him. Billy Walters could be fucking Broncos Player of the Year this year. And, we're going to have to sponsor it, I think.
Big call there, mate. Look, Billy Walters, he's a fucking person in the Broncos team, that's for sure. He's definitely in the top 30 for Player of the Year for the Broncos, that's for sure. I'll say that. We'll move on. I love you, Billy. Anyway, let's go, Thoroughbreds. Into the second half. Broncos kick off. 41st minute. And my note here is, straight after the kickoff, boys. Dolphins number 20, Trey Fuller, busts through the defense, runs 70 fucking meters to score in the first minute of the second half. What is happening? I'm just like, what is this? Like, I've smashed down the dinner because obviously it's a 5 of 30 game. So like right in the middle of dinner, half time's on, rightio. I'm just a pig at a trough, just absolutely gorging myself. Let's go get this down the hatchet and let's get back into it. Race around like a headless chook to come back to watch that. And I was just like, what is happening now? I've got indigestion because of this, and this is what you've done to me. But yes, obviously, kick converted, 20-14. Talk to me, boys. How did you see that one, Ringer?
Mate, exactly the same. I was not prepared for. Put the kids down. I was outside putting some shit away, and I was like, I'll better quickly get back in here. The game would have been just about to kick off. Anyway, I was fucking around, kicking rocks, and then I walked back inside and they scored a try. I was like, what the fuck's just happened? And my heart sank, because all I could think about the whole half time I was doing my chores, my what do they call it, ball and chain associated chores in halftime to make sure you're allowed to watch football in peace. I was thinking, okay, so 14 all, the game's been a good game. Let's come out in the second half, set the tone early, and we could do some good job here. And I walked back into the fucking TV and what now? Was not happy, Jan, I can tell you.
Yep, I'm with you there. Britto, how'd you see it, mate?
The only saving grace is that I'm pretty sure Gamat or somebody, or Billy, might have been Billy, slipped. And that allowed that massive hole that he fell through. But once again, like, it's amazing with the Dolphins that Trey Fuller, I know he was injured at the start of the season, and so he missed a pretty big chunk. But this is his first game. We're round 24. Yeah. And he's been there a while, and the Dolphins they've had some injuries for a while as well. So interesting to see. But yeah, someone surely is going to throw a contract at Trey Fuller.
Yeah.
I do understand that he's very loyal to the Dolphins, from what I've been hearing. It'd be very hard to tear him away. I think he's got a good family connection there up at Redcliffe and whatever. But far out, it'd be interesting to see if his manager's been doing his head in, getting fielding offers from all sorts of teams, and he's just sitting there going, "Nah, it's all good. I'm pretty happy here." Like, fuck. You could put my kids through high school. Fucking sign the paper.
Yes, no,
Cheeky
definitely
try.
stung the heart. That one, 41st minute, kick converted 20-14. So Dollies are up. From the 41st minute into the 45th minute, penalty of the Dolphins for a high shot on number 15, Connolly Lemu-Alu, by Katoni Staggs. Dolphins opt for the 2 points. Kick converted 22-14. Into the 47th minute, kick out on the full by Reece Walsh off the restart. That was just another dagger into the chest.
Excellent.
At that point, wasn't it? So, yeah, just another great chance for the Dolphins. And unfortunately, in the 48th minute, we see a try to the Dolphins under the sticks after a dummy half run by Jeremy Marshall-King. So I've just got terrible start to the second half by the Broncos. Obviously, kick converted 28-14. I'm worried at this point. I am not enjoying myself at all. Britto, how were you feeling, mate?
I was in fucking quicksand. I just had this sinking feeling. I was like, we're coming out and doing a second half like we always do. This is going to be horrendous. How are we going to fucking defend this one? All those thoughts come through. I did see, though, leading up to that try, Benny Hunt was fucking calling out people. There was a bit of rugged play, I believe, just before it, where thanks to a scramble, we didn't concede one out wide sort of thing. And then only we did that great scramble, and then JMK just strolls over in the middle sort of thing. So, but fucking, and the Gronk called it too. Where the fuck is Payne Haas? And like I was like, we can't rely on one person to get us out of this shit. Like but he was right. Like, where is he? And then I noticed that he'd been off 10 minutes before first half. And then it had been 10 minutes at least. So then I was like, oh, maybe they're going to give me another 5, and then lo and behold, he pops his head up on the next next run there and whatever. But yeah, I was just like, we had the kick out on, like, we've seen this before, yeah? Warriors over in New Zealand, Reece kicks out on the full, and then it just compounds. We don't get the confidence, and we just lose it. So that's where my head was at. I was like, fuck, like, we're dusted here, sort of thing. But
Yep. Jack, how did you see it, mate?
Yeah, well, it felt like that they were so preoccupied about obviously in the sheds are saying, don't lose your fucking heads, just go through the motions, and this game will come to you. That it almost felt like they were fucking asleep for this first period of the second half. Like they were like so conscious about, okay, let's not make any mistakes with the ball. Let's not throw this away. Let's just go through the motions. That they just forgot how to play fucking football. And Reece kicking it dead. I just cannot forgive people for doing that. Like, and I know it was to the sideline and he only fucking just got his foot to the line, whatever.
But it was Cody Nicarima, who's 5 foot fucking nothing.
If he didn't touch it, would have went over the sideline anyway. But like, there's 3/4 of an acre inside that where you can put that ball, where that sort of sit. Like, I don't know. I just can't. I just can't fucking do it anymore. I can't forgive kickers to keep doing that. Put it on the 10-meter line. What's the fucking worst that could happen? But anyway, but yeah, they were just asleep. I think but I think they were so worried about getting overexcited about what they thought they could do to this team in the second half that they were like just not prepared for what was coming at them. And the obscenities that were going out in my house. Luckily, there was no women and children around. They were all outside somewhere. Yeah, things weren't good. It was bad scenes in my place.
Yeah, and to add bit of salt into the wound, I think that's when they threw the live ladder up as well and showed the Broncos out of the 8 as well. So yeah, no, it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but we shall continue. So, as you said, Britto, from the 48th minute, 28-14, into the 49th minute, big bad Payne Haas comes back on for Paddy Carrigan. Broncos do 2 interchanges there, so that's the 4th one, and then the 5th one is Tyson Smoothie comes on for Corey Pakes. Then a bit of redemption from Mr. Walsh in the 52nd minute, 40-20. Beautiful 40-20 at that as well. Just, yeah, superb kick from Walsh gives the Broncos a great attacking opportunity and very well converted because the minute after that, into the 53rd minute, try to Dean Mariner on the back of that 40-20 keeps the Broncos in the fight. Now, the Broncos spread it right, and Mariner, great work by Mariner, beats 3 defenders. So good on him. Goes over in the corner, kick converted from the sideline. Good on you, Reese. 28-20. Lads, how did you see that one, Ringer?
Yeah, mate, great try. Mariner once again shows us that he is an elite finisher in the NRL. Shows he punches so far above his weight. He doesn't look like a big human, but cross, he seems to be hard to get on the ground. Great balance, great speed. So if we can put the puzzle of Dean together, he is an absolute asset and a game winner for you. And Reece slotting him from the bloody sideline, that puts a horn on a man too when you're fucking chasing every point you can get when you're bloody 10 behind at half time or 14 behind, 8 minutes into the second half. So we needed to go up in 6s, and for him to kick the 40-20 and then make the conversion, you start calming down and slightly forgiving him for kicking it fucking over the sideline.
Yeah, like Ringer said there, like if you can't, the commentators said the Dolphins were going to have to go up in 6s, and I was like, at this point, I'm like, we're going to have to go up in 6s. Like this isn't going to be a fucking easy beat. But it was also what I did notice, and this is what I was going to say in the first half. We had no ball.
Yeah,
we are 13 minutes into the second half, and I think we'd had one set.
Yeah.
Due to errors, them scoring, obviously getting a kick, the restart. Then we had the kickoff, all that shit. We had no ball, and it was good to see that once Reece got the 40-20 and huge play there.
Huge play.
It's good. It's good to hear the commentators say that the Broncos are the king of the 40-20 this year, because we really we got 3 different people, I think, that have done 40-20s.
Kicked one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of. Yeah, anyway, I'll have to have a look at the stats. But grabbing that opportunity, we had 0 ball. We get down there, we're 20 out, bang, convert. Just, all right, sweet. We just need the ball. And, of course, like we said, Hunt was throwing shots at people, and, Payne was back out there now. Carrigan, I noted in his stats the last week, he didn't crack 100 meters running this week. But he did do a big lift in defense. So I am wondering if he's running that 13 role and he's kind of trying to steady the ship as well. You've got that connection between Hunt and Reece. Maybe Carrigan's doing a little bit of silent heavy lifting there with our organisation and whatnot, because his run meters have taken a hit. But yeah, it was a great try. Like, we're so stacked for outside backs, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that either of these guys have to go back and play Q Cup at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we love it, eh? It's a good headache to have for Mads, as we've said countless times, the depth that we have. And rightio, boys, let's talk about, as the Ringer said, the try of the season into the 55th minute. Sensational play from the Broncos sees Josiah Karapani score a lovely team effort try to close the gap. So, Reece Walsh, lovely footy IQ here, runs it on the 5th, passes to Staggs, who makes the break. He passes to Tyson Smoothie. The commentator said it was Shibasaki. It wasn't. It was Tyson Smoothie. He passes to Billy Walters, who beats Dolphins fullback Trey Fuller, puts a kick up for Josiah Karapani to take the catch uncontested. Lovely try. Kick converted. 28-26. I'm screaming. The toddler is upset. I don't give a fuck. Boys, how are you feeling? Britto, start with you, mate.
I was up and about. I'd left the kids. The kids were allowed to stay up. Obviously, when it's a 5:30 game, I don't give a shit. Like most of the boys are playing their Fortnite and whatever, and the bubs run around just causing absolute havoc in the house. So, she's scenes everywhere you look in our house when it's a 5:30 game for the Broncos, but especially when that shit comes off. Like that was that wasn't Walter's dominant foot, was it? That he kicked off. I don't know if it was or not, but he looked like he was a bit off balance when he did kick it.
He was definitely off balance, yeah.
Yeah, but what a kick though too. Perfectly weighed up the scenario. Most of the times we'd be screaming at the TV saying, "Die with the fucking footy," and then we can just finish it off later. There's an acre of space out there. Karapani's going to go untouched. Great hands from Karapani. Great little finish. And had me up and about and shitting on myself for anything that I had thought in the first 15 minutes of the fucking second half.
Yeah.
Ringer, how are you feeling, mate?
Mate, the excitement around this passage of play is this takes you back to the Broncos of old, doesn't it? Where you're going to get hit from anywhere, and especially watching it on TV because you don't see the whole field. When he kicks it, you have no idea who's out there until they widen the frame. So you're like, I fucking hope there's some cunt out there, and I hope Karapani. It just adds to that drama when you're watching it on TV because that split second, you're like, ooh, this is a bold call, Billy. Because if this doesn't come off, I'm going to bomb you, son. But it did, and that must be nearly the loneliest place in the world, is it? When Josiah's watching that ball coming to him, he's uncontested. All you have to do is catch it and put it down. You're like, all that'd be in your head is, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up. So
hats off to Josiah as well for making sure he was on side. Like, again, that's that timing thing they would have worked through. Very easy for him to just overrun that because he wouldn't have fucking known that Billy was going to kick it.
No.
Unless he was calling for it, like he said, I don't know if he was calling for it. But, yeah, hats off to him for being in the exact right position that he needed to be in.
Yeah. And someone said to me today, our fella said, oh, yeah, it's almost identical to a try that Billy's dad, Kev, set up for Mick Hancock in a Broncos game. And I haven't had time today to look for it, but it'd be cool side by side if it is similar. But they reckon
we should do that.
They reckon there's a Kevy Walters kick across to a Mick Hancock, which is almost identical. But I thought, surely I would have seen that by now. But maybe everyone hates the Broncos, so they don't look for it.
That will be a good side by side if we can find it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
that would be
fucking
awesome.
hate. Just so we're just with the stats there as well. Adam Reynolds is currently leading the comp here with 3 40-20s. Then we have Billy Walters with 2 sitting in 5th, and Reece Walsh with 2 sitting in 6th.
Nice.
Killing it.
As a team, though, I think I've seen a stat not that long ago where we have 7 before. Like when I've seen, I think we had 7. The next best team had 3. So we had 2 players that would have been in the top 3 for teams if we were a team.
Yeah. Well, the only teams that are doubled up in here are the Raiders, and they have a 2 and a 1. Manly have a 2 and a 1, and the Storm have a 3 and a 1.
Yeah.
And then Benny Hunt's also got one. He's sneaking around 12th place there with 1 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
He's got one. That's the guy.
Just smoking the 40-20s.
Love to see it.
Which is a big play.
You're right.
No, I was just going to say, it's an underutilized play. You think, like, if we're snapping them, you wonder why everyone's not having a crack at it.
Wouldn't I say that in a previous episode when I mentioned that when we were playing Ringer, we used to have a lad that could kick them from anywhere. And you'd think that the professionals would be able to snap them out of the air like you wouldn't believe. I know fullbacks get better at covering them and wingers get back and all that sort of stuff, but you'd think they'd be a lot more content. But this year I feel like the 40-20s have come out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Nearly every game someone's having a crack at them. So good to see.
Rightio, let us continue. So from the 55th minute, The kick was converted. It is 28-26 to the Dolphins still. Dolphins do their fourth interchange. Then into the 58th minute, Jermaine Asako drops the ball in a crunching tackle, sees the Broncos with a scrum feed on the Dolphins' 30-metre line. And that old Jermaine, he wasn't he had a few little bobbles there, and he got away with one. We'll play the ball there. That was sort of a bit, how you going?
Yeah.
Ref didn't pick that one up. So good for the Broncos, obviously. And boys, end of the 60th minute, our boy Ben Tolte. You love to see it. Rate that lad, something fierce. Rubber from Benny Hunt behind the line, sees Ben Tolte scream onto it, plan it down, no dramas. What a remarkable turnaround. Kick is obviously converted, 32-28. Broncos lead for the first time. I'm about it. I'm excited. I am brought back to life, some would say. Here for the notes now, here to watch the game. I'm not, pick my bottom lip up and I can actually watch the game now. Boys, how did you see it, Ringer?
Mate, what a like one of them moments in the history of the club. So we got Benny Hunt rubbering through that was a thoroughbred, got unfairly dismissed, had to go out and play for the fucking Dragons of all clubs for a few years, and then comes back to the motherland, grubbering in behind for a Ben Tolte who's come from absolute, no one knew his name. Even when we signed him, we only knew his name because Britto fucking Googled him up and figured out who he was. And then, we're getting around him because it's good. Oh, maybe he'll get a start. He's made good depth for next year. Next thing, there's injuries. Next thing, he's starting. He scores a try off fucking debut. I think he's got 2 tries in 3 games or some bloody thing now. So what a player. I love Ben Tolte now. I loved him at the start. But, I mean, he's very obviously footy smart and, talented as such that he waited so long for that ball to be right before he put it down. Like, he hovered there and waited till that ball was on the ground so there was not going to be any bobble or any bullshit, and then he just fucking planted it. So he's very smart. So obviously a great pickup, and I'm sure there must be some clubs looking at you, Lincoln, at the Knights, who have 0 fucking forwards at the moment, who had someone like this in their systems and just let them slip through. And it goes to show that, you think everyone's a great talent scout, but they're obviously not. Because if this bloke hasn't been picked up in any Sydney club when he's playing for the North Sydney Bears as a depth signing, you really wonder how they get through, don't you? Because at the moment, I don't think there'd be a club that wouldn't fucking have him, seeing how he can play in the big stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Great shout, sir. Great shout. I agree with you 100% on that one. Britto, how did you see it, mate?
Mate, a fucking Ben Tolte fan club right here. We love a good thickie on this panel here. Eh?
Yeah.
I've had visions of Benny. I know we're pretty good in the forwards, right? I've had visions of Benny playing at second row in the off season, training there. Oh fuck, I reckon that's damaging. The way that he hits holes, the way that his mobility and his agility, it just could be that. I know, unfortunately, Ricky or Piakura, someone's going to have to make way, like, if that's the case. But fuck, he could be damaging, and I'm here for it too. Like, if they decide to do that, he's 5 games, 3 tries for a fringy who never played first grade before. That's pretty good strike rate. And just overall with him, he played 89 games in New South Wales reserve grade. He's played 3 preseason NRL games. He's 100% strike rate in the Q Cup. So he's won every game he's played since he's come up and joined Burleigh. And he's sitting at 80% now in NRL games and does not look like a fish out of water. Great little play. Just like you said, the way that he hovered above that ball, there was no doubt he's putting that down. Like there was, don't even bother about sending it to the bunker for a review. Got it down clean, like no worries at all. But yeah, and at this point, especially Tulty, I mean, if I was getting edged with the Walters across the Josiah kick, then this was the finisher for me, mate. Fucking
It was all over.
yeah.
Yes, yes. In the 60th minute, it was 32-28 to the Broncos. First time that they were leading, and yeah, we were all up here. We're all floating on air, right? Then in the 61st minute, Kobe Hetherington drops the ball on the second on the Broncos 10-meter line, and I'm just instantly just back down in the dumps. Like, you are fucking joking. Like, we've just done all of that to take the lead, and now they're just going to score again because of this. Kobe, what are you doing? No, but luckily, Dolphins set ends with great defense for the Broncos to get the scrum feed on their 10-meter lines. Lucky to get away with that one. Not lucky, good D, good D. We'll chalk it up to good D.
Yeah.
Then after that, into the 62nd minute, Broncos do their sixth interchange. Corey Jensen comes on for Ben Tulty, who goes off. Then into the 64th minute, knock on by Dolphins number 2, Jermaine Asako, gives the Broncos another great opportunity. I think that was sort of in that period after that knock on to then this one is when he did that sort of bobble playing the ball. So yeah, had sort of 3 in a couple of minutes sort of thing of Jermaine. So not great on his behalf, probably something he can work on. Then from the 64th minute into the 65th minute, penalty to the Broncos for a crusher tackle on Reece Walsh by Cody Nikorima. That one was sort of also a little bit milked, staying down a little bit too long, one of those things. But hey, if they're going to do it, then we're going to do it sort of thing. And yeah, I think it just sort of feeds more into, the slippery slope that these sort of things are going to do if they're going to stay down. So anyway, we'll keep going. Broncos opt for the 2 points. Kick not converted, 32-28 still. I think they should have gone for the try. Personally, I think that they were sort of all over the Dolphins at that point. So I reckon they probably could have, had a shot. But because the kick wasn't converted, I think so too. I thought it should have been, they should have had a go. Had a go. Like, you're already winning, might as well, put some hurt on it. But yeah, because of that kick wasn't converted, it's a 20-meter dropout from the Dolphins. So you don't really see that too often, but them's the rules. Then 68th minute, amazing take by Katoni Staggs after the 5th tackle kick from Benny Hunt. Mate, Katoni Staggs, like, we can glaze that boy nearly every game. He is aggressive. He loves to find the line. Scores his second try from the night and beautiful, gets up, does the old, this is our fucking home show again. Great kick from Hunt, to be honest. It was lovely weighted. But yeah, just superb take from Staggs as well. Broncos' 4th try in 15 minutes. We're all around it. We're all here for it. Kick converted, 38-28. Lads, how did you see that one? Britto, talk to me.
Yeah, no, it was a fucking delicious try. And like watching Katoni get up and doing that high, this is, my house. You watch when Shibba scores, Tulty scores, or Stag scores, the way they get up and react about it just makes you want to run through a fucking brick wall with them. But again, we have the ball. We've been holding onto the ball. And look at the damage that we do. And I guess this is going to be the question all week. I know we're heading into the night, so we do need to be careful about complacency. But were the Dolphins really good, or did we figure out a formula despite the troops that we lost? And the way that I look at it, regardless of what the Dolphins have, this is what we should have been doing to them. If we are a legitimate chance of a top 4 like we are hoping, we should have been in 15 minutes scoring 4 tries, dismantling them, holding onto the ball, and going from there. So I don't think that if anyone goes, oh yeah, but the Dolphins were injured. No, I think we did the job that we should have done against an injured, riddled team. I think the first half, sure, they had a bit of fight, and we always know that the Dolphins would, and then they came out, pulled our pants down there for a little bit. We had to pull our heads out of our asses. But then we went on with the job. So if we can get rid of that, I know we do have the Knights. I'll tell you about my little bet, Thoroughbreds, when we get to that, what I'm thinking about doing, bit of an omen bet. But then we do have some difficult ones. I mean, the Cowboys can be an absolute pain in our ass. We know that they'll play up against us. And then we got the Storm again leading into the finals. So, we've got troops out, but Madge seems to be pulling the right strings. It's good to see.
Definitely. Ringer, how do you see it, mate?
Yeah, I love to see a Katoni get up and about for, and I like how he put it. This is my house, and this one. So because last time this was our house, tonight this was Katoni's house, and everyone leave through the front door politely, please, as you leave Katoni's house, and pick up your rubbish on your way out because fucking hell, he was up and about, and I love to see it. And Katoni's putting together one of the great second halves of a season. I think like we glaze him every week because he's doing something fucking great every game so far this season for us in the second half of the season after the Origin period. But Benny Hunt put that ball on a dime when he come out playing 6 at the start of the year, then got injured, and then he's playing 9, and like he's probably doing it every week at training, but he hasn't had any in-game sort of much running of that sort of, we know he's done it for about 300 games, I suppose, but he still had to pull it off. And at this stage, it's only one game as a sample size, but he's put the one in for Benny Tolty. He's chipped this one to millimetre perfect for Katoni to get there just in time. Benny looks comfortable in the 7.
He does.
And we have to
that's what
remember
I'm
he had the top try assists. Was it last year or year before? He topped the Dally M for try assists. So we know he's got it in the duffel bag. So I'm feeling more with Corey Pakes the way he's playing, Billy Walters the way he's playing. I'm starting to think, do we go back to a left side and a right side half and just let the old boys cook and let Ezra fucking. I don't know. I don't know if Hunty's going to do this sort of shit for us in 7. I'm very excited.
And like we said last week, like yes, we'd lost Ezra, and yes, we've lost Renault and Cobbo. Right? We can fill Cobbo's spot. That was fine.
Yeah.
Like we always knew that was okay.
Yeah.
Ezra, yes, but we had people that could just do a job. Renault was probably the big one, mainly with his kicking, his goal kicking, sort of thing. But we had a 300 gamer sitting there. Yeah. Not many other clubs. Like, yes, a lot of other clubs, if they lose their starting 6 and their starting 7, fucking done. Like, other than the Knights, though, let's just shit on them again, because if they lost their starting 6 and 7, it wouldn't matter. They just bring in the other mob. They're going to change anyway.
We're going to do this a week later, but anyway.
Yeah. Can you imagine if like the Cowboys lost Purdue or Dearden in the same sort of instance? You go over, you lose Sam Walker and Hugo, it just Brooksy and Cherry Evans and all that. Like it's just, I think we're still in a good set here, but fucking questions for next year are starting to mount up.
Yeah,
so
definitely. And a big shout out to David Riccio, the absolute fucking dick slapper, for saying, cry me a river, Broncos fans, for, other teams have gone through injury crises too. And Brayton Astor looked at him like dumbfounded, like, yeah, but they lost both their halves in the same game. Oh, yeah, but other teams have huge injury tolls too. And you could see Braith was like, okay, whatever, bro. Like, you can hate them as much as you want, but just because fucking News Limited didn't give you a shot, stop shitting down the Broncos' fucking throat. Because Britto's exactly right. Fogarty and Strange get hurt for the Raiders in the same game. Burton and Galvin, both of them gone. Munster and Hughes. Like, what are we talking about? Like, teams don't recover from that. And the fact that we got away with a game like this, and like Britto said, the depth is fucking handy. But, I mean, it's a fucking devastating loss. And the fact that you get through it is a testament to your club. And you get bull-fed journalists like that saying, cry me a river. I would have just jumped through the screen and headbutt the cunt myself. So he probably done great things for the ratings.
Right, yes, we shall continue. From the 68th minute, kick was converted. It's 38-28 to the Broncos. In that 68th minute, the Broncos do their 7th interchange. Paddy Carrigan comes on. Kobe Hetherington goes off. Then we sort of just see some like great backwards and forwards, like from both teams, just sort of good footy, like obviously we're a bit more relaxed now. We're winning by 10. So you can sort of enjoy the game a little bit more when it is a bit more back and forth. In that time, the Dolphins do a couple of interchanges. They do their 5th and their 6th. Then in the 76th minute, now I've wrote this one, Thoroughbreds, because I'm chasing the Broncos 13 plus, right? We all are. I had a multi for the girls and the boys to get 13 plus. Obviously, the women just did their job exceptionally well. So I'm hunting that 13 plus, right? Which is why I've put this little note in. 76th minute, Jordan Ricky pass the fucking ball, right? So Broncos get an overlap. Jordan Ricky ends up with the ball, and he has one of the fastest players in the NRL on his right, screaming for the ball in Dean Mariner, and he doesn't fucking pass the ball. Now, look, personally, I think that would have set up just perfectly for the Broncos to score again. We get our 13 plus, Langers gets his multi, everybody's happy. We're all, kissing babies, shaking hands, the whole show. Jordan Ricky doesn't pass the fucking ball. So there goes the Broncos 13 plus. And thanks for that fucking Jordan. So look, I understand he's a good player. Britto, you're going to come to his defense. I understand. Talk to me.
I definitely am. Pretty Ricky, like Ringer has pointed out, he's pretty. He's not smart. I don't think we want Geordie trying to do those passes. I think we end up with more egg on our face. I think just you did a good job, Geordie. Hold the fucking ball, go die with it, and we'll figure it out later on in the fucking piece. I think if Geordie starts doing, we've already seen his kicking confidence, right? So if he's gonna get a bit wild if he starts doing that offload and shit, I reckon.
Definitely. His next name's Pretty Ricky, not Witty Ricky. We'll keep the thinking for someone else because poor old Geordie, he sort of went, nah, fuck it, I'm not giving it to the fast follower outside. And then it looked like he was going to die with the ball. And then Dean had to run inside, otherwise he was going to end up in row 4. And then that's when Geordie decided to peg it at him. It was like, that wasn't good, was it?
No, I was upset. But I was chasing the 13 plus. So
definitely,
we'll try again next week, and we shall continue. We've only got a few more Thoroughbreds, so let's keep going. Yes, from that play from Jordan Ricky into the 77th minute, we see a knock on by Corey Jensen after Isaac Atoa just grubbers it straight into his hands. Not too much Corey could do there. Now, boys, I'll get your thoughts on this one. The scrum clock runs out, and the Broncos don't pack the scrum. Now, we have been pretty against that of late of other teams, but Dolphins get the penalty. They're not going for the 2 points. They need the tries. Smart play by the Broncos. Britto, talk to me.
Are you allowed to go for a penalty kick there in that instance?
I think, but you're down by 10, so
yeah. And the 77 minute. So we've been pretty critical of teams when they do it in their own half, trying to get out, right? They have the ball. That's the big difference. With us, we're like, well, we'll just take the scrum play out of it, where you can strip us for numbers. We'll make it 13 on 13. We'll just let the scrum clock run out. Like I thought it was. At the start, I was like, where's our lock? Like, where is he? Holy shit. We're going, hang on. That's actually a really smart play. And then it sort of, the old bell went, and I was like, oh, well, play the fucking ball, mate. Let's go. I loved it. I was very 100 IQ sort of shit. I don't know who made the call. Probably Hunt, to be fair, at that, or Carrigan maybe. But it was a great call.
Ringer, how do you see it, mate?
Just yet another example of rugby league teams taking 0.8 seconds to figure out a loophole in the rules to benefit themselves when the NRL trying to speed up the game. So this is going to lead to another rule change where if you're time wasting, someone's going to get sent off, I dare say, because you can't let teams do this. You know what I mean? Because they can call time off, but then that takes away from the whole point of what they're trying to do, and then teams are going to give away like we are. If you're more than 8 in front, well, if you're more than 6 in front, you just give the penalty away because what are you going to do? Kick the fucking goal, and then So it's gonna keep happening because it happened in another game too over the weekend. It might have been Melbourne Panthers. One of them, I'm pretty sure, just went, "No, we're not taking this scrum. Take the kick if you want." And so I dare say there's going to have to be some off-season fucking skullduggery because the NRL coaches figures like they're shadiest mob of cunts I know, because they just figure out loopholes in like 7 seconds. But anyway, it was very smart. Got to give it to them because, like Britto said, you get a set line, set defense. You're not given space to what we obviously identified as the far superior speed centers against our centers with space. So you're just like, nah, we'll take a line set. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm with you boys on that one. Rightio, into the 78th minute, so the minute later. So obviously they get the penalty. They got a fresh set of 6. It's on Broncos 10-meter line sort of thing. Dolphins need to score to keep their hopes alive, keep their dream alive. And Dolphins number 3, Jake Averillo, drops the ball, giving the Broncos a great pressure reliever and basically seals the game. And when he did that, I was just like, yes. Because, you're still sweating. Like, you're happy Broncos are up 10. There's only a couple minutes to go. But there is that nagging sort of thought that, like, fuck, they only need to score twice and we've lost this one. So, yeah, to see him drop the ball, I think a lot of the players, like Broncos boys, that they were sort of the same mindset as well. Like, yes, we've got this one now, so this is good. We can just run out the clock and off we go sort of thing. And then into the 79th minute, right at the death, captain's challenge for the Dolphins for a ruck infringement by Payne Haas. And that challenge is successful after the replay shows Haas pushing Jermaine Asake as he tries to play the ball. Just like cheeky from the big fella. And like it's funny because all he does is just sort of move his knee a little bit, and like Jermaine just gets fully drifted. And it's just like, oh, that's right. Payne is a massive human being that he can just do that to players. So captain challenge is successful. With one last crack. Yeah, Broncos just defend well to close out the game, basically. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is full-time. Broncos win 38-28. You love to see it, especially after that first sort of period into the second half where I was sad. I was definitely kicking my bottom lip around for a little bit there. But no, great comeback from the boys. Couple of little full-time notes here. Reece Walsh, a key difference. He played very well. Ben Hunt, great in attack with 3 try assists, but I thought, just his defense was amazing. And just, like we've already sort of said, just seamlessly taking on that leadership role, steering the ship, with Reynolds being injured. So that was good to see. It didn't look like there was any teething issues at all with Benny Hunt going into the 7. So beautiful to see. Payne Haas back doing Payne Haas things. You love to see it. Love for him to be in the team. You definitely want him putting on your jersey rather than playing against you. Stags. We love to see it. We love the big fella. Great win, keeping us in the top 8. And as always, bring on the Knights next week. Now, lads, hit the Thoroughbreds with your thoughts on the entirety of the game. Ringer, go for it, mate.
Fucking opens up a more Pandora's box than what it fucking answers. But, we'll deal with that if we're going to keep winning games when we haven't got half of our team on the field, half of our spine at least. So I think key takeaways is Ben Hunt, very comfortable in 7. Paddy Carrigan had the Seager next to his name, but everyone knew Ben Hunt was running that team. Defensively stood up. He was leading from the front in on both sides of the football. Payne, brilliant. I thought all of our forwards were really good, except for that first 10 minutes when they just were asleep and decided to let them march upfield. But I thought Kobe had a good game. He had that one knock on that was dumb, but Kobe again was good. Jensen probably had his best game for a couple of months, I think. Really hitting the ball up with some venom. But Reece Walsh, mate, Reece injected himself. Reece was given the ball when he should get the ball, not because he was out there fucking screaming for it. He got the ball when he went looking for it when he needed to. Got away some great kicks, 4-20 in that. He's obviously got a long boot on him. But we set it up so that Reece got the ball when we were dangerous. And then a lot of Katoni's good work come from Reece getting him a little bit of space and some one-on-one action. And we all know who's winning that battle 90% of the time. If Katoni's one-on-one with anyone, then it's the same with Shibba. Give him a fucking inch and he's going to take a mile because he's such a big, powerful human. So it's great to see that we have these duffel bags, these weapons in our duffel bags. It's just a shame that we lose to teams like Parramatta and fucking the Bunnies and the Warriors earlier in the year when we could have banked all those points and been just sitting in the top four, fucking looking at all the pathetic losers behind us coming into the back end of this season. But obviously very happy with the win, and it's good to take the Battle of Brisbane Shield home once again.
Absolutely. Britto, how do you see the game, mate?
Yeah, it was good. And like Ringer pointed out, like venom from Jensen, straight off the bat, we were running it hard back into their defenders and into the marker and whatnot, and really sort of taking the wind out of the foot. We knew they were light on. So if we could beat them in the middle, take away that space that Katoa needs. Not that he doesn't need space, but try and limit whatever he was going to have anyway. We let him have a little bit of space there for 2 tries, and then what do you know? Bang, bang, he hits it. So, but no, it was a really measured game. There was that 10-minute period there in the second half at the start where it was horrendously horseshit. And I think that'll be a bit of a focus in the video session this week, leading up to the game against the Knights. Probably more so focus. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but it's something that Madge will probably focus on this week so that we get it right during the night, so that we have the confidence we can do it against the Cows, against the Storm. I'm still a believer that that Storm game was one that the only reason we lost is because those injuries that happened on the night. So if we show up with a fresh 17, we possibly could do them. Although Storm then go out and beat the Panthers in one of the best Thursday night games we've seen for quite a while. But yeah, anyway, I liked it. I liked the game. I was pretty confident coming out of it that, obviously we'll do a number on the Knights. I could get ahead of myself there and do the early crow, but I like where it's going. If we, like Ringer said, if we played like this in the first 10 rounds, fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it throws up, and this is absolutely diabolical talk, Thoroughbred, to what I'm saying. Next year, we've still got Hunt, we've still got Renault. Are they, at the end of their career, are they happy to do week on, week off? Don't fuck their bodies up. Don't string the hamstrings out. Just, righto, Renault, you got this round. Go out, do what they need to do. Righto, Hunt, you're in next. Righto, we might, Ezra have a break. Hunt go to 6. We'll blood Kobe Black. We'll get him ready because obviously the retirement's coming. We do have Derby coming down from the Cowboys as well. So it's going to be Duffy. So it's going to be very interesting to see how and when they blood him. It's good. I'm not prepared to write this season off at all. I'd love to get to the grand final and have this hurdle that we've had coming into it. Like, that'd be a great story. Exactly. Like, remember that time when we lost our 6 and our 7 and we powered on and made the grand final. I'm excited to see how this season rounds out.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely building up for, that fairy tale sort of situation from the boys.
Yeah.
So hopefully, we can capitalize and we don't shit the bed against the next 2 teams that we should win and win comfortably. So,
and And the other thing as well, we got to
Touch wood.
think about, if we can finish this year out good, doesn't matter what the end result is. Like, I think we'll play finals. Doesn't matter whether we get bowed out or what. But now Madge has had a year with them. Now they're going into another preseason, second preseason with Madge, and they go, holy shit, if we listen to him, if we do what we need to do, we can come out and just destroy the competition from round 1 through to round 27 next year. And just gives them that much more confidence and a bit of a tighter pack, I guess. So, very interesting times ahead. I mean, proper excited.
Very much so. I think that too. Especially, it's hard. Like, there was a lot of question marks in the bad periods of this year about Madge's fucking what's going on there, and like, there's probably more to do with Barrett as in our attacking shapes and what we're throwing at teams, because that throws up more like questions now that we're depleted and we seem to look more convincing in attack than we have all season. But anyway, we won't go there. But I mean, the actual whole team focus and team drive and motivation about what we're trying to do, I don't think we can question that anymore as thoroughbreds, because people like Shibba and Karapani and Mariner, Katoni's having one of his best years. Corey Pakes from the fucking clouds is turning into a fucking starting 9 at most clubs. Like, I don't think we can question what the trajectory is. So if we buy in, I think we could see some very good results. And I still think we are one of the, like, I still think this competition's wide open, because you know what you're going to get from Melbourne, you know what you're going to get from Penrith. But we are one of the few sides that if we turn up on any given night, we beat anyone comfortably if we can put it together for 70 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm still confident that if we get our tails up and we take this bed shit mentality out of us and we decide to go, hey, let's play for more than 20 minutes a game, we could really go deep into this campaign.
Yeah, and Benny and Reno have got to be hungry for another ring.
Oh, fuck.
That's got to be driving a lot of these lads. And they just need to erase the scars from 2023, I think, and the mentality from it. And I think Madge, Hunt, and Reno are probably the ones that'll help you do that. All right. What about you, Langers, mate? How did you see the game? What are you rock
Mate,
hard?
I was all about it, obviously. Like, I thought it was a really sort of interesting game. Like, exciting game, backwards and forwards, just a good old-fashioned quality game. One thing I didn't like was that it took us 60 minutes for us to break the lead or go into the lead. So we were sort of chasing the entire game. So I wasn't about that. But no, like what you boys just basically covered. Like, it's good to see that we can bounce back like that after losing both of our halves into the same play in the same game. Like what the Ringer said, that cripples most teams. So, just once again, talks about our depth that we do have, that we can just slot other players in there and it's seamless, basically. Like Billy Walters, you give credit where credit is due, and he did his job, he did it well. I thought, that try of the year, that will definitely be a contender for sure. Like, I thought, he could have definitely fucked that up, tried to beat Trey Fuller and who just tackles him, and that's game sort of thing. But like, he held his head and did what needed to be done, and Langer's got his best bet because of it. So, happy days for everybody around. So, no, it was good to see. We got the Knights next week, obviously. They played horribly today against the Cowboys. So, but like what the Ringer said, the Broncos do have it in them that will come out next week and we'll get absolutely pumped by the Knights. So, in this back end of the season, we're in the sort of bottom half of the 8. I think your for and against is really going to start counting now. So if we can sort of really put some cricket scores on, the next couple of weeks, I think that will really help us out with with our sort of placement in the 8 when we inevitably do make the 8, mate. So that's my thoughts.
Good shit. All right, we'll move on to man of the matches. Now, she was pretty tightly contested Uh,
Yeah.
as we went to air, it was 50-50 on the Thoroughbreds with the voting between Walsh and Staggs. I hit the old, share the result, and then someone came in late afterwards and pushed Staggs over the top. But we'll take the 50-50 result as it stands. So Reece Walsh and Katoni Staggs both get Thoroughbred man of the match for this one. Walshy, 80 minutes, 18 points via 1 try and 6 conversions out of 7 attempts. 19 runs for 249 metres, 51 post-contact. That's 13.1 metres per run and an average of 2.68 metres post-contact. 2 line break assists, 1 try assist, 12 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 12 tackle breaks, which as it so happens to be not the most in the game for us. 2 offloads, 1 tackle made and 1 missed for 50%. He doesn't get through a lot of defensive work, Reece. But it helps when you have 2 ineffective tackles that they're not getting through to him as well. So there is that. 4 kicks for 154 metres, 38.5 metres per kick. 1 error, which was a handling error, and 2 penalties. Katoni Staggs, 80 minutes as well, 8 points via 2 tries, 10 runs for 126 metres with 27 post-contact. So we're looking at 12.6 metres per run, 2.7 per for the post-contact. 1 line break assist, 6 tackle breaks, 1 offload, 16 tackles with 4 missed for 80%. Really good. He did stack up the report card though, 1 error, which was a handling error, a penalty, an inside 10 metres, and then 1 on report. So a little bit of
aggressive,
a bad boy. Yeah, aggressive, you could say. Yeah, he's our aggressive one though. I don't actually think he ended up on the judiciary sheet though. Or maybe he did. No, yeah, he did actually, but it's only a fine.
Okay.
So, but I think we had 2, weren't we saying, and it's just Katoni that's on the sheets. They must have let go of the rest. My man of the match. Now, I was going to go the opposite of whatever the Thoroughbreds went because, Staggs and Walsh both deserved to sort of be up there. So I'm glad it was 50-50 because once I went through the stats, I was like, hang on. The real man of the match for me is Ben Hunt.
Yep.
80 minutes, 4 runs for 32 metres, 0 post-contact. So not much to write home there. But 1 line break assist, 3 try assists. 2 tackle breaks, 19 tackles, 1 missed, 95% efficiency. 13 kicks for 400 metres, 30.7, and 1 error. And just the way he guided us around, the 3 try assists is, for a person playing 7 for the first time this season, right at home, shades of his try assist topping best last year. So it was really good to see. So that's who I went there. Moving on into the stats. So the most tackles was Carrigan at 35, Donahue at 47. Also, a quick shout out. Thank you, Donahue, for not snapping any of our players.
Yeah. Thanks,
really, really appreciate that one. Most run meters was Walsh for us, 249, but Fuller went 257, thanks to his little runaway there to get him over the top. Most line breaks, Shibber with 2, and he was our most line breaks with the 2, but Dolphins only managed 4 players with 1 apiece from that one. Walsh with the 18 points topped our scoring. 78 metres post-contact, Azarko 53. Most runs went to Haas and Walsh with 19. Fuller had 21. Most offloads, Haas topped that one again for the 2nd week in a row. He is well and truly back from that injury that he's been sort of holding through over Origin. He had 5. Most tackle breaks was Haas with 13. And Fuller had 7 for the Dolphins there. So we'll get into the back line there. We got Walsh, Karapani, Staggs, Shibasaki, Mariner, all played 80 minutes. Fine for 34 of our 38 points. 5 tries combined there as well. We've obviously been through Reece's stuff there. But talking shit about Shibba, 65 post-contact. He topped the meters there for those boys. And there was another massive shout-out that I wanted to do. The only person who had an ineffective tackle was Mariner, and I think I remember it. I think there was not much he could do. in that instance. So, but 12 tackle breaks to Walsh, 6 tackle breaks to Staggs, 10 tackle breaks to Shibasaki. In total, the combined backline had 32 tackle breaks. Remember, the Dolphins made 60 missed tackles, so they took the half of that away. Bringer, where do you see in those stats, mate? What's standing out for you?
Well, it's standing out that you lose Cobbo, Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs are not here, and you bring in Carapani and Mariner, and you're looking at stats like that, all over 100 running meters, all got good post contacts. Nelly, everyone with a line break, except for, I don't know how Carapani doesn't get one for the crossfield kick. I thought that counted these days, but it doesn't. Walsh doesn't have a line break, but he has 2 line break assists. We'll take the good with the bad there. But yeah, great, obviously, great backfield, great backup because a fair few meters had to be made from, like, we highlight all the attacking prowess that we had, but there was a lot of grindy footy in this game that we had to truck some nut from fucking bad spots on the field. And I think Dean Mariner, he needs a lot of credit for fucking how hard he'll truck a ball back for not being the biggest bloke on the field. Trey Fuller obviously takes the cake for not biggest guy that runs the fucking hardest though. So like it's funny, in most tackle breaks for them is Fuller and us as Haas. So you like literally could not get any further apart in physicality. But yeah, great from the back line, mate. Finished when they had to finish. I see one. Mariner had 4 runs, I think. Oh no, 12 runs, but he had 3 tackle breaks, and I think he made all 3 in that one play where he scored the try. So do them when you got to do them, son.
Yeah, that's it. What about you, Langus, mate? Anything sticking out there for you?
Yeah, no, like what the ringer said, I thought Jesse Arthurs was just going to be, the staple sort of thing. And like, I don't know if he's still got that rib injury or what his deal is. I don't know, but yeah, like how do you go past like the other wingers that are on offer, when they're putting stats up like this? But I think just the whole backline, like a good little stat that I've noticed is all 5 of them, 72 runs combined for 829 run meters. So, mate, you take that all day, and that's like what we just said, that's not what you'd think would be our starting, 5 sort of thing. So, yeah, good stats, mate. I love to see it.
Yeah, that's the go. Move on to the halves there. We got Walters, Hunt, Pakesy. Pakesy punched out 51 minutes of the good stuff. Massive shout out to him. 32 tackles for 1 miss, 97% tackle efficiency. So that elbow was well and truly A-OK. Shout out to Walters, who had a clean sheet of errors. Just didn't miss anything there. Where else was it? And he had the most runs out of all the halves, most run meters, most post contact, but try assists was the big one. So collectively, they combined for 4 try assists, which was great to see. It's sort of, I guess, business as usual is what you would expect. But especially when we have a Reece Walsh sitting there, where people kind of tend to look to him as the try assist, I guess. So it was good to see that the boys combined there. Langers, I'll go to you first, mate. Anything you want to shout anyone out in the halves there?
No, yeah, like there's a lot of green ticks on this board that you've thrown up, Britto, which is obviously good to see. But probably one that sort of stands out is the tackle efficiency from the 3 boys, averaging 92% for 70 tackles made.
Yeah,
How do you fault that? Like good shit, good tick. We'll take that all day. And yeah, just Benny Hunt sliding into that 7. We've said it before. Like it's just relieving, I guess, like there was obviously that question mark around it. Can he do it? We know he's done it in the past, but can he do it now? And seamless, mate. It was just seamless. So hopefully you can keep that up and give Madge another headache when Reynolds comes back fit. They're like, should we even play him? Should we just, keep this train rolling sort of thing? So yeah, good stats, mate. Good stats.
I'll just do a quick shout out. So before we go too fast past the back line, Jesse Arthurs. So Burley had a bye this weekend, but the weekend before he played 80 minutes on the wing there, got through 13 runs for 130 metres, 53 post contact, 4 tackle breaks. His tackle efficiency was 100%, 7 tackles, 0 missed, and clean sheet of errors. So spoilt for choice in the back line there for sure. Jack, Ringer, mate, what do you want there in the halves? Anything to shout out?
Well, we've already glazed Hunty, so I'll leave that on. We'll get to him, no doubt. But Billy Walters, got to shout him out. He only had 7 runs, but once again, he tucked the ball when he had to. He didn't do anything stupid. If it wasn't on, he just fucking tucked it under the wing and took him on. And you see there, he only had 7 runs for 3 tackle breaks and an offload. So, over 50% of the time that he's running the ball, something's happening out the back end of it. So I think we've got to be very happy with that. And yeah, obviously, I'm the biggest fan in the world of Corey Pakes, but he had 1 run for 0 metres, 0 post contact, so he got caught pretty quickly at a dummy half there. But everyone knows what you're going to get with Corey. He's not a running 9, but he's going to be tight as fuck in the middle, and he is going to deliver good pill. Honestly, I think that is such a big difference for us because our forward pack is our dominant area of, everything's a dominant area when they're on, but I think our forwards are our most consistently dominant part of our football team. So it's going to be very interesting if he trots out next week. Going to be watching him like a hawk because those forwards really seem to appreciate, especially Corey Jensen. He stepped up at least a couple of notches, and so did Payne Haas this game with Pakesy at 9, where they're so confident that he's going to hit that. They don't have to worry about where the ball's coming from. They just have to worry about what line they're running. So going to keep a real close eye on that.
Yeah, I do wonder now as well how much Corey tried to play with that elbow. It came out of nowhere. I didn't like it. It was a big. I was like, are they masking him getting dropped? Because it was about that time where Ezra was back and what are we doing with the 14? Then all of a sudden he's got an elbow injury. I'm like, well, did he just hold on until Ezra came back, knowing he could get a rest then?
Yeah,
because we did notice that his service kind of dropped a little bit before he was dropped
last game. Yeah,
and so mate, if you're fucking drawing red things on the wall and trying to connect the dots, it seems that he he might have been carrying that for a couple of rounds there, which makes me want to fucking shit in my own mouth about some of the stuff that I said about his service there at the last couple. But he's back now, and another headache, I guess, going forward. So, and it's really good. It's really refreshing that this season hasn't been taken up with our lack of depth in our second rowers. A couple of lads have stepped up, done a good job. Jaden Hunt did a bit. We'll get to him now. We'll get to him on the bench. But Jaden Hunt has stepped up. Jack Goz has obviously done a job here and there, hot and cold. Then we've got Tolty coming in. Once Piakura stops meeting the CTE man, but we might get a bit out of him into this season here. But all right, into the engine room. Jensen, Haas, Goswelski, Ricky, Carrigan. Obviously, Jack Goz only managed 12 minutes. Payne Haas played for 61. Carrigan played for 61. Jensen had a good 40 in him. And Ricky went for the 80. Ricky, again, I love the man. I love him being called Pretty Ricky. I don't want him to be Witty Ricky. I just keep doing what he's doing. A big shout out to Paddy Carrigan, 35 tackles, 1 missed, 0 ineffective for 97%. But Payne Haas, the massive unit, 13 tackle breaks. And not only was he breaking your tackles, he was making sure you weren't breaking his, because 28 tackles, 0 missed, 0 ineffective for 100% tackle efficiency. His stats in overall career when it comes to tackle efficiency is just ridiculous.
The charts. Yeah.
It's inhuman. Ringer, any chat here in the front row, the powerhouse?
The powerhouse, mate. Yeah, unlucky for Jack Goss. I think he gets a shot to, show us all after he did fill a hole the week before, and we're sort of hoping, you want him to do well because obviously Madge is confident that he can, and he has shown us glimpses all year, and then the poor bastard gets fucking hurt. But yeah, we'll get to the the bench because Jaden Hunt did do a fucking excellent job, I thought, from the clouds. But yeah, Payne Haas, mate, he's not human, is he?
It can't be.
100% tackle efficiency in a game where we did have some fragilities. But yeah, Paddy and Payne, 97 and 100% tackle efficiency between them. Paddy makes nearly 8 more tackles for only 1 more miss. But then, Corey Jensen, 24 tackles, 1 miss. So, it's only Jordan that had 85% with 5 miss, but he's on an edge where, you're getting a fair bit more attacking and dartier sort of creatures around you. So, yeah, great stuff, mate. And we're getting what we're asking for in Ricky's making 13 runs.
Yeah.
That's what we've been asking for second rowers for the last couple of years. We want our second rowers to be making double-digit carries to give our props a bit of a break and to have that edge to be a running threat. So,
and lo and behold, he cracks double digits and he cracks 100 meters. So good stuff. Langers, mate, you want to shout anything out there?
Yeah, mate. Like obviously, I'm not going to re-glaze everybody. They've got about an inch of glaze on them at the moment. So one thing I have noticed though, Jack Goss, he played 12 minutes. He got injured in the 3rd minute. And so he only did 1 run. So the 1 run that he did do, he got injured in it, but he still did 6 tackles. So he was injured for like another 9 minutes before he went off, and he still made 6 tackles. So, give credit where credit is due. Got a bit of heart shown in there. You got a busted wing, and you're still making tackles when you need to. So, kudos to you, Jack. Hopefully it's not too bad, just a bit of a burner. Hopefully you can still flip some chicken in your shop there, mate. But no, apart from that, yeah, just solid engine room. God, it's going to be disappointing if we ever lose Haas because just the stat king, isn't he? Just every week, even when he's got a sore back, he still throws out just phenomenal stats. So, yeah, I'm just so glad that man is in our team.
And then just looking at the tackle stats there as well, I know you said the halves went 70 and 5. But the engine room went 122 and 7 miss, 0 ineffective.
95, yeah. Mate, 95. That's phenomenal.
Good stuff. And that's, to be fair, probably what we won the game off of, that sort of stuff. All right, on to the super subs. Tyson Smoothie, Kobe Hetherington, Ben Tulty, Jaden Hunt. Smoothie, what did he do? He ended up doing 29 minutes. Hetherington was 45. Tulty got 33. Hunt obviously had to play 68 with the injury to Jack Goss. Smoothie, 11 tackles, 0 miss, 0 ineffective. Another 100%er on the stat sheet. Jaden Hunt, Ben Tulty, clean sheet of errors. And 27 tackles for Jaden with the 4 miss. So he's up there with Ricky as well. He did have a bit of a low 3 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he got thrown in late, but I mean, they all know what they got to do. 3 runs though, he did make 39 meters. So the runs that he did make were a bit potent. They got beyond the 10-meter line there and whatnot. So, Langers, anything there, mate, that stands out?
Yeah, mate. For it not to be our usual bench, what we thought was going to be our bench at this stage of the game, obviously with Willison breaking his hand and whatnot. Just good stats to see, like people doing their jobs. That like obviously Ben Tulty, we love that man. Hopefully he can just continue to soar into the heavens with his working rate and meat pies versus games sort of statistics and whatnot. So hopefully that keeps up. But once again, tackle efficiency 89% for 70 tackles made. Like you take that all day for the bench. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a headache when Willison comes back. What who's going to go where and who's going to play what? Like how do you drop Ben Tulty? How do you drop Corey Jensen, So, there's it's a good headache. It's a good headache, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's going to be a headache for Madge to pick a starting 17 if everybody is fit and firing, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a good point out too. I mean, if you had said round 24, your bench is going to be Smoothie, Tulty, Hunt. You would have went Tulty, who?
Yeah.
You would have went Smoothie, like, fuck, what's happened to Walters or Pakesy or something like that, and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's definitely not what you would have expected at this round of the season, that's for sure. Ringer, mate, what about you? Anything there on the
You're dead right
subs?
about the Smoothie call, mate. Like, if you were to take a screenshot of that team list and show it to someone in round one, you'd go, what happened to Billy Walters, Corey Pace, and Blake Moser?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I thought Smoothie did a great job. Come on, just played his role, tackled his dick off, and just give service. Like, we don't need creative nines. We just need people to give our forwards and our halves ball where they want it, when they want it. Kobe doing Kobe things. I still want to see a little bit more output from him. But you just know he snaps cunts in the middle, so that's what he's there for. Benny Tulty, I did see like the first what's the word? The first chips of paint fell off the shiny new toy with a few of those defensive, the first 10 minutes in the second half. But again, I think they went to sleep, so you didn't see it again for the rest of the game after they got a good serve into him after that second try. But there was a couple of little just lapses, but they were all doing it. Wasn't just their fault. And Jaden Hunt, I know he only took 3 runs, but I put that down to Billy Walters having that new edge, and he tucked the ball under his wing 7 times.
Yeah.
You chalk 4 of them up to Jaden. If Billy's in a passing mood, it pumps his stats up. But then you've got Reece Walsh and Shibba running for 19 and 15 each. So, it just takes. We didn't need him to run the ball. If Billy's just tucking it under the wing on that edge, well, he's just not getting the opportunity. I actually got to eat my words because I was desperately keen on not seeing Jaden Hunt play a game of first grade this year after that fucking trial match at the start of the year where he dropped about, I think he dropped the ball 6 times and missed about 8 tackles. I was like, Jesus Christ, send him out bush somewhere so he can make some sausages for real footy players. He actually, I thought he was great in this game. His defensive work, his hustle, he was chopping blokes, and he made 27 tackles. Like you said, and on his edge was Finifuiaki, which is being touted as one of the best second rows playing the game. I really have to tip my hat to Jaden Hunt. I think he's improved out of sight this year, which once again says Madge is doing something well.
Yeah, 100%. He definitely looked like he forgot how to play footy in the trial matches there. I think that were your exact words. All right, no worries. Well, we'll move on from the stats. It's good showing, good healthy greens everywhere all over that stat sheet, which is good to see. Just a bit of an update on our guess first half, second half performances. So at the moment, we're sitting plus 88 in the first half, plus 26 in the second half, giving us a plus 114 for and against. That 1-12 win that we got there evens us up now. So we are 6 1-12 wins against 6 1-12 losses. So good to see. Good to see. Solid effort there from the guys. All right, that's the review.
There's a couple of stats in there. We lost to the Warriors by 2. We lost to the Dragons by 4.
Yeah.
And then we lost to the Eels by 2.
Yeah.
If we could, and we had real opportunities to win all of them. So
yeah,
we win all of them. We're sitting in third, just fucking sipping tea.
Yeah, she's a different story if some of them come off. And then I just wanted to see another thing that came up while we're talking. What was it? The try assists. So at the moment, Renault is still number one for us with 16, but Reese has got 15. So
There you go.
he's been stacking them up. Ezra Mam as well, even though he hasn't been in that long. Obviously the 9 games off, he's sitting in third for us with 10 try assists overall. So good to see. Hopefully Benny can start stacking them up as well. Alrighty, we have the Gronk, and he's a little bit.
He'll be in a good mood, surely.
Well, I'll put it this way: he's in that slumber at the end of the year. Your team can't make it. He needs some help, and he's asking us for some help. So we'll see. We'll listen to him, and we'll see if what we can give to him.
Tell me what to think. Tell me what to feel. Should I be happy that we got a win, even though it's completely meaningless at this time of year, considering where we're at? Or should I be heartbroken that Drinky single-handedly just crashed one of my head-to-heads in Supercoach, which was cruising to victory even before he come and done what he does? So, I don't know how to feel. Well, let's see. And I had to feel about you. Your team. Was that good? Are the Dolphins good? Or the Dolphins just like fucking reserve running really there? I don't know if you're good. I don't know how to feel. Well, let's see. Fuck.
See what I mean? He's checked out. Good thing his Supercoach team's going fucking great. Otherwise, he'd be just absolutely taking the shoelaces off that poor lad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the question that I had. Like the Dolphins, were they good? But then again, we should be doing what we were doing, maybe a little bit more dominant. But and yeah, the Cows. What do you guys reckon about the Cows leading into the back end Lagans? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, at least they're probably not going to get the spoon. So, you look for the silver linings when you can find them. Like there's worse teams out there, So, hey,
very
you take
slightly
the positives when you, yeah. But, hopefully we should do a job on the Knights. If they play how they played today against the Cowboys and they play like that against us this coming week, then we should do a job on them. So they're definitely going to be lower than the Cowboys. Cowboys will probably lose the week after when they play us. So, but you've got Eels, Rabbits, Knights, Titans underneath the Cowboys. So the odds are that they probably won't get the spoon. I don't see those 4 teams, getting up and boogieing for the last 3 rounds. So, hey, silver linings, Gronk, mate. So, yeah.
Absolute poo sling next Sunday at 4:05. We've got the Tigers up against the Cowboys, so probably won't be a poo sling. It'll probably be actually a really entertaining match, that one.
Yeah. No, them
What about you, Ringer, mate? Any chat?
Yeah, he would be all at sea, mate. It does feel like purgatory. Not that the Broncos have been in this position very often, but conveniently enough, when we decide to start a podcast, we want to fucking win spoons and not make the finals. But anyway, we won't go there. But yeah, it is like purgatory, isn't it? When you can't make the finals, you're battling not to be the shittest team in the comp. And like Langer said, you got to look for silver linings. The silver linings for us is that at least we don't have 2 Queensland teams in contention for the fucking spoon, because that would be embarrassing with the amount of talent that we rob the rest of the competition. So that's something we need to drastically address. In his comments about were the Dolphins good, I would put it to him, would you have liked to play them, Gronk, with your Cowboys team?
Yeah.
And,
Chat.
That'll soon, I think were they reserve graders? I think they still pumped the Cowboys somehow, the way they were turning on those tries against us when they got the momentum. And I don't think, unless a team would be able to arrest that momentum and wrestle it back. So I'm going to die on that hill just because we're a Broncos podcast. But anyway, I think the Dolphins are punching so far above their weight all year with the injuries they've had. And I think on the weekend, it was no different.
Yeah, 100%. Going to be interesting to see the run to the finals with who gets the spoon. I know the Knights and the Titans will be fighting it out. And I don't believe they verse each other, do they? Before the end of the season. I think it's not going to be like a poo scene, but I can't see the Knights or the Titans winning many games to finish out the season. So, but we'll see. Lincoln will be excited to hear that chat.
Titans versus the Wars next week.
Ooh.
So you probably won't think that they'll win that one. Then the Knights play the Sharks after that. Rabbits have a bye, so they'll get the 2 points. Where are the Titans there? Oh, Titans play the Dollies.
Dolphins, yeah.
So, probably won't win that one either. And then, Titans versus West Tigers. And then Eels versus the Knights. So, for round 27. So, interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead to see who's going to get the spoon. That's for sure.
100%. And exciting times for next season too. Because I know there's a lot of injuries and everything. So I'm excited to see next season. She's going to be fucking a difficult one next year, I reckon. Especially with like the Dolphins getting full squad, especially with the rumours that they might be getting Flegler back. They'll have Cobbo. I don't know where he fits in or how that will work, but yeah. All right. Moving on to the week ahead, we'll have a look at the injuries and suspensions. So with the judiciary, we've just got Katoni Staggs, grade 1 careless high tackle, first offence. So he's looking at a 1K to 1.5K, depending on his plea, which I doubt would be anything but guilty. Yeah. So he'll be free to play. I don't know what's going on with Piakura. I cannot find him anywhere. I know they might be just being cautious. So I would say he'd be back in this team list Tuesday for sure, hopefully. But we have Hayes out for the season. Obviously, Bendikura is got that foot injury. It'd be interesting to see if he comes back. He's rumored to be back next week or the week after. So I've seen somewhere with round 26 on him. Xavier Willison, week 2 of the finals, if he is to come back. Reynolds, week 1 of the finals. There's that rumor that he could be ready round 27. The way that Benny Hunt's playing, let's not. Selwyn Cobbo, he is week 4 of the finals. Same with Ezra Mam and Jack Goz at best 2 weeks. So round 27 at best there. So we do have a bit of a lengthy injury list, not as bad as some, obviously, but our depth is being tested there. But we seem to have the right mentality going about that. So we are Knights v Broncos, Sunday, 2 p.m. down at Clown Stadium in Newcastle there. I might be making an appearance on the Knighted Live. He is doing one for the doubleheader. He's not going down. I am thinking about flying down just for the day, but he's got to get back to me. He might not want me to come down after the last time we both watched a Knights v Broncos match together. Now, it looks like it will be, so we'll either do our 50th podcast Thoroughbreds as the Penalty Broncos midweek for the NRLW, or it will be this show next week. So my omen bet is I will be taking both the NRLW or the NRL teams to beat the Knights by 50. That's what I'm putting down, and it'll either be we'll score 50 or the line will be 50. I just got to have a look at the odds because they're obviously a bit slow with the NRLW getting the odds out for that one, and we'll wait for team lists to come out and see. But keep your ears peeled because that could be my best bet. I know it's a bit risky, but the Knights are a shithouse. Watch them come out and beat us by fucking 2.
Exactly.
So head to head, we've had 43 games. played against the Knights. They have won 15. We have won 27. We have a 63% win rate. Currently, they are 16th on the ladder. We are 6th, I think. Is that right? Are we 6th?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Wins this season, they've had 6 out of 21. We have had 12 out of 21. Premiership odds, as far as the Knights go, they are 501. Push right out. We're at 23. That's come in from 34 after that disaster against Melbourne, where the bookies just fucking pushed us right out. So we're back in at 23. $2.52 the Knights are for this game. We are $1.52. So hats off to the Knights. Actually, that's not good value for the Knights, I feel.
It is
Like, you'd be flat out finding someone that'll throw that in a multi. Last
it's
time
just
we met,
because it's a home game. It's the Broncos.
yeah. We've got a bed shit in us for sure. Last time we met was that glorious round 20 match in 2024. Adam Reynolds returned from injury, where he put a bit of a spanking on him. We ended up winning 30-14. Would have to be one of the coldest and windiest nights I've ever experienced. And he was still slotting them from the sideline, so good on him. Their previous 5 games doesn't look good. So they just had a loss to the Cowboys. They went, and keep in mind, though, they have had a rough fucking draw. They had the Cowboys, sure, but Panthers, Raiders, Warriors, Storm is their last 4.
It's the shittest fucking draw ever.
That's fucking horrendous, the poor bastards. So they've lost every single one of them. We've gone Dolphins W, Storm loss, Rabbits win, Eels lost, Titans win. So, say what you will about us, but there's one top 4 amongst them that we got a loss to. The rest is sort of up and down. So Langers, mate, how do you see this game going? I know you're going the 13 plus, that's a given, but what are we doing? Are we dismantling them or are we just packing it?
Broncos 13 plus playing $2.18, boys. So you know your boys just wrapping around that one. Your 51 plus win margin, $67 at this present time. Not bad at all.
I've chased it before, so I'll chase it again.
Nearly got there. Nearly got there with the rabbits, mate. But no, look, I'm not as confident as I should be, and not as confident as I want to be. You know what I mean? Because like what the Ringer said, he's 100% right. We could come out next Sunday and absolutely shit the bed. That's just what the Broncos do. They keep the thoroughbreds and their fans on their toes, mate. And that's unfortunately how it rolls. And, we should come out and do, if the Cowboys can do that against the Knights, what they did this afternoon, then we should be able to do that easy, especially how we played this week. Yeah, I think the 13 plus is a solid bet. $2, you get double your money. Awesome. Bet responsibly, of course. But yeah, there is that question mark, which sucks. It does suck. Nah, Broncos 13 plus, mate. Of course.
That's good. What about you, Ringer, mate? How do you see it going?
Yeah. All I can say, it must suck to be a Melbourne, a Penrith, or a Bulldogs fan this year, because you come into this game and you know that you're coming away with 2 points. As a thoroughbred, you're just not confident to say you're going to do it. There's 2 ways this game goes. We go down Britto's route where we put 64 on them and, absolutely have a field day, or we decide we forget how to play football and we get done by 4 with fucking 2 minutes left on the clock. And for some unknown reason, we play another team into form. Dane Gagai plays fucking the best game of his life. God only knows who their halves are going to be this year, but Jackson Hastings will probably come back in and put a fucking number on us. All of these things are possible, and that's what makes it so exciting to be a Broncos fan. But the farmer boy in me wants to caution everyone with their big bets, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a big fucking wet change coming next week, and it's going to be a slop fest all weekend. So just keep that in mind, thoroughbreds, if you're going to go early with your punting, with your bet. Yes. Hi.
I just put mine on.
I've already put mine on.
There's three of us here that have already done it, but I just a thought, as someone that watches the weather professionally almost, yeah, just be careful of that one because I think it could be a fucking slop fest again, which I don't think it plays into our hands. I don't know because we pump the Bulldogs.
We play really well in the
50.
wet.
So,
Yeah.
it might actually up our chances personally. But yeah, anyway, just keep that in mind, Thoroughbreds. But you can guarantee I'm going to be putting on a multi where we have at least a 36 plus margin in one of my multis somewhere because I think if we put it together, we're going to fucking do it.
Yeah, no, I'll be hanging out for the NRLW. I've just thrown on me $5 bet there for the 51 plus. So the 14 list. I'm just getting out there now.
Ben Tolte
all right.
anytime.
Oh, Ben Tolte, mix that up. Jesus, don't get me started. Okay, that's a week ahead. Very good. Tipping comp. You blokes have been a bit sneaky with the Joker, I see.
I mean,
too bad
shit
one of
week
you
to
didn't
do it.
take fully advantage of it.
For
Ring
once,
out
it's not
12. Yeah, ring out 12 points with the what you ended up with. So what'd you do? 6 out of 8 with an 8 margin. 4 from 8 with a Joker. With a 6 margin.
My average is like 6 this entire fucking campaign, and the 1 week that I'm like, you know what? Let's throw the Joker on. Let's just see how we go, and I get fucking 4. Like, I think I've just sealed old Dan R fucking for the winner for the comp there because I needed a big lift to catch the bloke, but I've still got 1 Joker round, and I think I'm going to need to get a perfect round with a Joker round to be in for a sniff. So, yeah, kudos to you, Daniel.
Mate, if you had done your 6, you'd be within 3 of him, and the heat would definitely be on.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's done both Jokers yet either.
No, he has. Yeah,
he has.
Sure
Oh,
yeah.
Thank fuck for that. Jesus.
Yeah,
thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
Literally bigger than embarrassing.
Yeah. And Annie Frogs comes in at 3rd. Now, this is probably chalking up to her. She got a bit, for those that don't know, that's my mother. And she got a bit upset at the beginning of the season when we called her the office tipper. But the office tipper, yeah, the office tipper nearly just beat Langers with a Joker. So she got 7 out of 8. If she had played the Joker, it would have been a 14 rounder. She would have flogged the shit out of all of us. So actually, she would have went straight to 2nd if she had done that. You win some, you lose some, as they say.
Yeah.
I ended up with a awesome 3 out of 8. Love that.
Ooh.
Gronk didn't get his tips on. And unfortunately for him, this round, only one away team got up, and that was Melbourne.
Oh.
So he started the weekend right, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
Duck eggs from there on in. So
wow, that'd be the only weekend where it's been that big a discrepancy, or what?
Yeah, it'd have to be. Like everything else is normally like what the average tipper gets is what the average you get if you don't put your bloody tips on. But that was what a week to do it. Good Lord. So anyway, we move. What are we sitting there? So we've got Dan R in 1st, Slippery Gypsy, Langers in 2nd. I'm in 3rd. Ringer, you're in 4th, and the Gronk's down in 6th.
Right. I'm lucky I fired those 2 Joker shots to actually pick myself from fucking 9th or wherever I was sitting before. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, you've done well with your Jokers, really. You've done your average at least, I think, or a little bit over. A little bit over your average, which is good. So that's sweet. All right, onto the Super Coach comp, and we've got a fucking huge score here, Thoroughbreds. If you're following in the Super Coach stuff, DJ's battlers, get around this boy. 31 points. Actually,
ridiculous.
What's that like?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I will check again because we have had updates while everyone else has been talking. 1,640. So he's added 9 on since updates.
Jesus Christ.
Good job. Good job, mate. Blair. We have to keep an eye on because he's got to be in the top 500.
Mate, well, I think he was 1057th the
Yeah.
week just gone. So I've seen a few 1400s. I think I've seen one 1500. I've not seen anything close to 1600. And for him to be 1640,
Yeah,
surely he's
that's
got to be in the top 10 this week. I don't know.
that's huge.
Maybe
Yeah.
top 100, but
That's massive.
it's fucking
Well,
huge.
I know, like Kuma Stallions, for those that are right into it, SC Playbook, Timmy there, he got a 1500 for the week.
Yeah.
And he is pretty solid when it comes to the back end of the season normally. So for Blair to put that one on, good shit. Cowboys year comes in. He's made his run. We know this guy, Justin. So he's 14th in our comp, and he comes in at 1440 to take out second for the weekend. He's having a heavy run at the end of this season here. So I am in danger of him catching me, I reckon, over the next couple of weeks. Payne in the hunt, I'll just check, because he is third. Riley, 1438. Yeah, so he's gone up as well, and he's kept his third spot, so that's good. Elsie's Echidnas, who sits in second, had a great, they've just, with the updates, they've punched above 1400 there as well. So some big scores there. Ringer, mate, 1411 for yourself. You cut the 14. And you had a couple on the bench too.
Yeah, absolutely got fucking fingered. But I had McInnes on the bench. McInnes and Robson combined for me for 28, which is, unheard of. But yeah, how I got away with that, I had a projected of like 1140, and I guarantee this is the first weekend I've cracked above my projected, and in a good way. So, I told all the thoroughbreds that I was down and out because my team was fucked. I've got too many injuries. I just want to point out though, just to give myself a little bit of a rap, in the top 13 in our Supercoach comp, I am $600,000 cheaper as a team value than everyone in the top 13. So I'll take it.
Look at this. Go Langers.
You think that's bad, sir?
Like
2 million.
And I've been playing this for 6 years and I'm still getting fucking towed up. I should be better than this, and I'm not.
Langers, you're the first 12
fucking not doing
million. You're the first 12 million on our thing there. You're the highest 12 million, I should say. Well done.
Yeah, I'll
mate.
take it.
Well done.
I'll absolutely take it. 12.8, boys. Take it
can't
all
even-
day. Versus
I can't believe I've
15
cracked
million. It's like Trey
Anyway.
Fuller trying to tackle Payne Haas, mate.
First year, mate. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Hey, over
But yeah,
1,000.
we're
That's what you boys
definitely-
said.
we're
That's what I aimed for, and that's what I'm doing. So,
100%.
I'm doing what you tell me.
But we're
Um,
definitely keeping a very close eye on BJ's battlers ranking
Hell
after
yeah.
this weekend.
From now on in, mate, BJ is flying the flag.
bro,
and we
you're going to
are-
get a fucking hat. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're leading our Supercoach team to glory.
I'm also on a bit of a high thoroughbreds because this year is our first draft year for Penalty Broncos. We've got a tight-knit community of 4. We'll see if we can drag Langers and Gronk and all that into it later on. But for now, we're into the finals, our very first finals. I am by far the shittest team in our draft, but I have just become victorious over the bloke who had the most points. And so he's been knocked out. So I'm just basking in that glory at the moment. Beat him by 30 points. And he's
Yeah,
taking
mate,
it well.
that's
He's
nice.
taking it well. He hasn't thrown the toys out of the cot by far. How did you go, Ringer? You were in that.
Yeah, mate.
Did you
Me and
end up
Justin
getting the win?
battled it out, and it looks like I've been fucking shafted with an update. 9:45 to me, 9:47 to Justin. So absolute fucking. And you know what killed me? I left a Scott Drinkwater on the bench, and I played Tom Trbojevic. So I turned an easy win into a fucking painful loss there. So anyway, but I think I'm still in it. I think I go through because I was top 2. So I think I get to play you next week.
Do.
which is
actually, I don't know. It'll be an honour to go out by that way, my friend. Yeah.
that
Could
old
you
fucking
imagine?
Titanic cunt.
So I don't know. We'll have to have a look at that. I'm pretty sure that the losers. Anyway, I don't know how it works. Where's the ladder though? I just want to let the thoroughbreds know. All right, so here it is. So, I go on to face you, and Justin gets a week off.
Yeah,
to
he
come
goes
in
straight to the
and
GF,
face
which
whatever it
seems
is.
unfair in a 4-man comp that one bloke misses out. But anyway, fuck him.
But just to give you guys an idea how shit my team was, I finished the season on a negative 914 for and against. I was the only one in the negatives, and I've just beaten old Kale, who scored 18,480 points in the whole season, and the next closest to him was 17,915. So, no, he's taken it. He's taken it really well.
Top. It's one of the best fucking rags to riches stories I've seen. This is Slumdog Millionaire shit.
All I can say is I'm going to be pretty fucking happy at draft day next year. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when my first round pick was Ben Hunt, so leaning into that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. We'll stop dilly-dallying. Best bets, Langers, green tick, Karapani.
Yes, sir.
Got up for you. Well done. Best for Gronk, didn't do anything. AFB looked threatening, but did fuck all for me. And Ringer, you had Halasima from the Warriors there. He was no good. So a bit of a swing and a miss there from the Bronco bet.
We've got
4
3
legs.
rounds left. Surely we can get one up.
Surely. Tell you what though, 6 out of 12 for the road to $1 million.
Yeah, started well.
50%. 50%'s not. That's probably the best we've done this year. So. We'll chalk that up as a win. We'll take that with us. And there was one void in there as well. So depending on how you go with your betting, that could potentially be 7 out of 12. Anyway, we'll do a bit of wrap up before we wrap up. Probably not actually, because we have fucking chewed the ear off the Thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Something chronic here today. So we might leave these ones for a later date when we don't have anything. So basically it's just the rules, or it's people defecting to, I wouldn't call it defecting. I just call it they're going where they want to go. Haas going to Tonga? Samoa. And whether or not Stags will do the same. Because that boy is lighting it up for an Aussie jersey if he really wants to. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with that. But we'll do that for another season, another episode. That's it from us, guys. Thanks for listening. If you found us and you're listening to us, please let your mates know. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you subscribe where you can. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Help us. Send it to your mates. This TikTok thing is pissing me off. We're sitting on 1,000. We're either 3 above or 3 over 1,000 followers. So we'd like to just break this little curse and just start on the upward trajectory that we have been on. So give us a help with that. Liking our posts costs you guys nothing, so please just hand them out where you can. A comment gives us motivation. Sharing our content introduces us to other people, and hitting that favorite button also helps with engagement as well. Love the chat that's going on online. Really pleasing to see everyone talking shit, getting in amongst it, being critical of the team when it's time to be critical, praising the lads when it's time to praise them, and getting amongst the NRLW as well. Have noticed a bit of a pickup in the social media interactions around that. Bet responsibly, bet for fun and not for the rent. Be a contributor to society, stay out of one another unless it's consensual. We'll gallop off. We'll see you after Team List Tuesday. See you later.
Cheers, Thoroughbreds.
Good on you, Thoroughbreds.